And press the button. Or
Okay, so are
count
we
down,
streaming
but
or not?
no. Yes, we are
We are
streaming right
streaming.
now.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Just don't understand the count. Like we all know what's going
I know, but let me
on.
do it. It's what
Is
I
it
like
okay
to
if I
do.
say something now?
Come on, can't have
I
any
get
fun
it,
here.
I guess. All right, so last week when we left, you guys had defeated the evil asteroid.
Yes, and we turned
Yeah,
to
they
Saved
sure did.
a not tangibly rich scientist.
Oh, I still have something to. I got something in mind here.
He'll put them through the ringer.
And
Oh,
you guys were on your way to center to compete in the Great Hunt under kind of Paw's banner. Paw's the one that is going to be backing
He's our
you.
sponsor.
Exactly, your
Yeah.
sponsor.
Yeah.
And you're headed to center. There was a big asteroid going to hit a bunch of scientists. You stopped the asteroid by killing it, and they invited you to dinner because they had not much else to offer you, at least as far as they said. They did show you some interesting things. A plant that did not keep its stable form of matter, which is what they were studying on the planet. And when we left, you guys were basically, they were holding a simple but enthusiastic banquet for you.
Awesome. The only thing I have to roleplay as far as that situation goes is that Xavier, probably near the end after the feast and the small talk and the conversation, the milling around, Xavier would take I guess the head scientist or the head leader, the head operator, who's been talking to us the most, right? He wants to take him aside a little bit, and he wants to explain that, I understand that your resources here are very limited, and I want to say thank you for the feast itself, and we're glad that you're very safe. Although I have a question for you. If you did have the means in which to at least compensate us, say, for the resources that we spent, you'd be willing to do so, correct?
Well, of course it would only be...
Wonderful. Then here's my suggestion, perhaps. We don't want to take anything from this world or from you or from this colony. That would be extortion, of course, right? And that's not how we operate. But you mentioned what was the name of the university that you were from?
Oh crap, I didn't write it down.
Get up again. That's fine.
That one university.
That one university at that one place. Cambodia. No, I did not say Cambodia.
Hope not. I hope their leader isn't a guy named Pol Pot.
He says the name of the university. Sorry.
Okay. And then Xavier will say, well, you obviously must have contacts there, professors, leaders, friends, perhaps yourself or members of your team have family members or contacts to businesses, perhaps. Perhaps you could send either a digital letter or a note of good faith for us to meet with them. That's something that simply says, hey, this is what happened. If you could do us the favor of compensating the 4 missiles that these gentlemen fired, we would be eternally grateful, or something like that. Would you be willing to do that?
That's a bit more complicated than you might think, but...
Why do you say that? Okay.
Well, let me explain.
Mm-hmm.
In the world of academia, it's very cutthroat. When you find a new technology or specimen such as we have, you have to keep it under wraps because there are many universities that would compete to publish the information on this first.
Okay.
So this expedition is very hidden. Our university knows that we're out here, but not where. Our families don't know. It sounds very silly.
Your families don't know where you are?
He nods. He says, it does sound very silly when you put it that way, but
sounds awful.
If we don't publish our findings on this, we don't get funding. And if we don't get funding, we're out of business. So, caution. But
somebody knows you're out here.
How much would you say the missiles cost you?
And Xavier will access his holographic computer, and he'll punch in a few numbers as Inferno. Check something out. As Inferno definitely doesn't access a certain item list. Nope. Nope, he's not doing that. He's definitely Xavier's not scrolling down to that missile section.
I could just picture Xavier's mouth is like half open as he's
For
thinking.
medium, for high explosive mediums. Yeah, no, he's definitely not rounding up to 9,000 apiece.
It's loading still.
So he'll say, well, typically they're 9,000 apiece, but I think we have a good contact, probably down to 8,000. 8,000 times 4 is 32,000. I guess, of course, once again, if we're looking more at cost, we can round down even more and say they're probably worth around 30,000. We probably expended about 30,000 worth of credits on that asteroid.
He nods and he says, "It would be rude for us not to at least cover your expenses after saving our life. I may have a solution for you.
Okay.
Come with me." And
All
he
right.
starts leading you away from the banquet and down some halls
Sure.
and into a laboratory.
Ah, okay.
And in this laboratory, there's tons of. I'm sorry. Before I continue, yes, Isaac.
I just wanted to say something out of character. We launched 7, not 4.
Well,
7 missiles.
I guess
just
that's
saying.
too bad. I guess Xavier fucked up on counting that. So
Oh well.
yeah.
All right. The laboratory is full of all kinds of scientific instruments and equipment and some large machines, and it's completely empty. Everyone's at the banquet except for one scientist who is bending over a table,
Mhm.
and the lead scientist with you says, "Melvin." And Melvin looks up, and he's wearing those very thick glasses that make his
course
eyes
he
look
is.
incredibly big, and he goes, "Oh, it's you. How marvelous. I found just the newest." Melvin, please. We need your telescope. But why? Just we need the telescope to pay these young men back for saving our lives. But I need my telescope. You don't need the telescope,
Oh,
Melvin. And they go back and forth with Melvin protesting, but I look at the stars. Yes, I do. And the head scientist kind of ignores him and picks up a rather fancy-looking telescope in both hands. It's about 3 feet long
Mhm.
and about a foot wide. And he
Mhm.
turns around and he hands it to you, and he says, "This is a well-kept antique of sorts, a very high-class telescope of, maybe a few centuries ago.
Mhm.
It's a hobby of, well, Melvin's to stargaze with it. And
I see.
while I'm sure I'm sure he is more than happy to part with it.
Uh-huh.
If you're going somewhere where you could find a trade markets, I'm sure this would run for at least 40 or maybe even 50,000 credits if you know how to haggle such things."
Sure. Well, we can. I know how to haggle a little bit. Xavier will take it graciously and say, I do appreciate your this gratitude of thanks, and then he'll whisper a little bit to him. Melvin seems a little upset. When we leave, he's not going to put like strychnine in the water or anything like that, is he?
Oh no, he's completely harmless. He's just a grump. The honest truth is, without that telescope, he might actually get some work done.
Oh, well, if this is a mutually beneficial thing, I'm very happy to see this then. Okay, well, this is fantastic. Well, let's go back up to everybody there.
Yes, let's. And you leave the room to the voice of, that's my telescope.
Yeah.
It's my telescope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's mine now. Yeah. And by the way, we're gonna need you to come in on Monday. Yeah, and the weekend. Xavier takes a long sip of a coffee cup.
I was thinking more the scientist from Futurama, but that's a good fit too. But yes, so the rest of the evening, the banquet, like I said, it's a simple banquet. It's mostly rations and simple food, but the scientists are enthusiastic and incredibly happy with you, and they talk all of your ears off about anything and everything, their project, what they're doing, despite the fact that you were just told how secretive this is.
Yeah.
And they'll also ask for information of the outside world. They've been here for over a year and a half, and they expect to be here another 2 years. So any information on what's going on out there is hot news at the moment.
Xavier contemplates recording what they're telling him to sell to someone else at a future date. Then he realizes that A, he'd rather drink than listen to all this with any intent. And B, if he had to sell this to anyone, it means he'd have to talk to more guys like this. So he passes on that idea.
Moral by coincidence. All right. Does anyone else do or say or have thoughts on the evening or?
So Lucas is currently at the table. He's currently looking a little perturbed, and he has quite a few clacking teeth in front of him, just chewing up food.
Forgot about the clacking teeth.
These things
Okay.
are about 5 inches large. There's a good dozen of them at a quick count.
Pretty big.
Yeah. And they are all clacking at different rates, and you can see Lucas mouthing a few things, but over the clacking you could probably not hear what the heck is going on.
I'm
Isaac.
gonna go.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Isaac will just stare at him from across the table in his suit and tie, and just slowly eat his food while watching.
Every once in a while you see one kind of skitter off. You see Luke, no, you get back here. We don't want you eating up the place. Yes, I know you're hungry. No, you don't need to spill out the entire thing. I know you're hungry.
Well, it seems like you're pretty involved in your conversation with your little friends. I'm gonna go find Xavier so we can get the hell off of this place.
I say around that time Xavier would show back up with a fancy microscope.
Telescope.
I like.
Telescope?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, telescope under his arm.
You see me, I'm like very impatient. I can't sit down. I'm like, are we leaving? Can we leave?
We can, I suppose. I figured we'd stay at least for another. I'm kind of tipsy, and I wouldn't mind getting tipsy. Well, wait, I'm piloting. Yeah, I guess we should go now.
Wait, I stop you. I'm like, whoa. If you've been drinking,
Of course, they offered us food and booze. How could I say no? I thought we were gonna stay here for about a good half a day. You know, relax, take in the sights, let these people enjoy our company, and us really capitalize on being a hero. We did save an entire colony from getting smushed by an asteroid.
Okay.
What's the rush?
Isaac, Lucas, what do you think? You want to stay or go?
When you say that, all of the teeth stop chattering, and one of them waddles forward towards Lucas and starts clattering. And then Lucas will go, I'll ask. Yeah, I at least need to stay for another few minutes. Excuse me.
Wait, Lucas, wait, Lucas. Lucas, how long have you had these things? Where did you even get these things? I haven't seen them on this ship.
Oh, these things.
Yeah.
They came from my pockets, and he's going to walk past you.
And while he's walking past and walking out of the room, Isaac will just motion towards him and say, "What the fuck?"
Xavier will shrug, and as Lucas is passing by, he'll call back behind him. Can they go back into your pockets?
I don't think there's enough room at the moment.
Oh my god.
Isaac will make the same gesture without saying a word.
Xavier will drift towards more wine or other beverages are being sold.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a drink myself after hearing all this. Yeah,
Lucas
there we
goes
go.
up to a scientist.
Oh my god.
Sir, do you have any free metals?
The scientist looks around. He does seem a bit tipsy. He's like, "You mean like first place blowing up asteroids?"
You know, now you mentioned I would love one of those, but no, I mean like things that like ships are made of and stuff like that. You know, like,
Oh, you mean like alloys and stuff? Well,
sure.
let me see. We do have spare alloys in case there's a rupture in the colony. We really need those, but we do have quite a bit. How much do you need?
Let's see, 13. Oh, let's just go with 13 pounds.
13 pounds of alloy? That's not very big. I'm sure we could squeeze that. Just go on over to requisitions and then just ask them. Tell them you need. Wait. Tell Hendrix you need exactly 13 pounds, and then I said if it's 13.1, his butt's mine.
Okay. Where is he?
He's already started walking away.
I have a query. Oh, I have a query for you, Squee.
Mm-hmm.
What was the general population of this colony? I think
About 200.
200. Okay. Are there any lady scientists?
Yes, there would be several.
Wonderful. So if Xavier had a choice between listening to these scientists talk about their research while he eats and drinks with them, I would like to be biased and pay more attention to what the ladies have to say, and also strike up some conversation.
Okay.
But this is just for the sake of description. We don't actually have to roleplay any of it, just to show Xavier's hound doggy proclivities.
Right. Go ahead, just for the sake, so I know where to go with this. Roll me a D100. It's not a convince check, right?
Okay.
Just,
Yeah, it's I'm a hero check. I got 17.
Unfortunately for Xavier, you do spend the night talking to several women, but they are either A, married, or B, completely devoted to their work, and don't even seem to notice if you're a guy or a girl. You're just someone listening to them.
That's a shame. Okay, I'm done. We can go back to Lucas's quest for Hendrix.
Right.
Can we say that I found Hendrix?
Yes, we can say you
cool.
found Hendrix.
All right. I need 13 pounds of owl metal, and
Is that metal with pointy ears?
A guy in a lab coat kind of turns his nose up at you and says, "Owl metal?
yeah,
You mean alloys?"
I think that's what it is. Yes.
Okay.
But if it's 13.1 pounds, some dude's gonna take your butt.
Some dude is going to take... Are you suggesting that if I don't get this right, I will be sexually molested?
You know what? I didn't ask for details. So, it's up to that guy, I guess.
His attitude gets a bit more sober, and he very quietly starts cutting off a square amount. Measures it, weighs it, and hands it to you, and then just kind of stares at you.
Thank you.
He watches you go.
All right, boys, and he's going to thump this thing on the table. Dig in.
All right. The
teeth
yeah.
are going to clack a few times. He's going to go, no, I can't cut it up. You're just going to have to eat it like this. And you see the pile get swarmed by these teeth and actually rather quickly get bitten down like it was eating through, like, unhardened clay.
It's at this point that Isaac, while witnessing this, kind of mutters to himself, I could have gone my whole lifetime without having to see that. And he gets up, and he will walk back to the ship.
What a bunch of killjoys.
Oh, fantastic! You guys are good.
Yeah, I'm good to wrap up this scene, this colony scene. Have a rest
Okay.
on the ship. Head back on to adventure.
Okay, so you guys head back onto the ship
Mm-hmm.
and explode. No,
Oh no!
How's my telescope?
Oh!
and
17!
continue. Yes, plus your telescope and continue your journey towards the city of Center, which you were only a day or two away from.
Oh, delightful.
Oh. Wait, how many weeks was that?
It was about 2.
There's about okay. It was 3 weeks
There's
when
10
you got the invitation. You
When we
flew
got the
to Noble Station in about 2 days there, 2 days back, so about 4 days.
Hmm.
And then it was about 6 days.
We calculated 10, which would be 14. So we knew
Right.
when we hit center, it'd be we practically have a week.
Right.
Yeah.
So you basically you travel the other 2 days towards Center. As you are getting close to Center, your mechanic Seamus over the intercom says, "When you guys have a moment, if you could meet us over in the kitchen, Hart and I wanted to discuss something with you guys."
Well, it doesn't look like we're going to be running into anything unless, a ship materializes right in front of us. I can stick it on the autopilot for a little bit right now.
Quick stat thing, Squee. So it's been technically around 3 weeks since we took down the whole pirate thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be enough time to learn my second spell?
Yeah. Yes. What we'll say is by the time you touch down on Center, you will have learned them.
Okay.
So, like, at this point, you're almost there. You almost got... This is about maybe half a day out.
Okay.
Does everyone else kind of meet them in the kitchen?
I have a question too, concerning time. How long has it been since our last payment from the mining contract?
You actually got your last payment, I believe, when Lucas called her when you were in front of a bunch of pirates, I believe, which is almost a month ago.
Okay. Cool.
Not quite a month. Actually, now that I think about it, it would have made perfect sense for her just to give you your payment while you were there. So give me 1 second while I do something.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
200,000 was this month's take.
Okay.
And she would have just given that to Admiral Bush.
Okay.
Well, that's gonna be really easy to separate. 100,000 for the group and 25,000 apiece.
Ta-da! So you guys get to the kitchen. You see Seamus sitting at the table, and Hart is sitting up on the boxes that are over down here.
What
Kind
does
of
Seamus look like, by the way?
Seamus is cleaner than Hart. I mean, Hart's always got grease somewhere. Seamus wears overall mechanics overalls.
I know he's a mechanic all over Squee.
He
He's
wears
an overall mechanic.
He wears almost like a jumpsuit for mechanics, like a onesie for mechanics. He's
Yeah,
almost
I know.
constantly in that. It's a light tan. It is rather dirty, but his face and his hands at least are usually kept fairly clean. He's got short blonde hair, which he tries to comb, though it doesn't really end up combed too well at the end of the day. But all well and told, he's fairly clean shaven, fairly clean cut. He's about 5'10",
Okay.
about 170 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Human?
Yes.
Caucasian?
Human Caucasian, yes.
Cool. All right, thank you. It just I like painting a mental picture sometimes.
I understand. When you guys all arrive, he goes, well, Hart's been talking nonstop about the story she used to hear from Pa about the Great Hunt.
Uh-huh.
And she hit on the idea that a lot of times people are sabotaged.
Yes.
And we started thinking, getting to putting our brains together about things that we might be able to do to stop it. We have some ideas. Okay, to be fair, Hart has a lot of ideas, and we can implement them. The basic premise is this. It's difficult for us to watch every part of the ship all day long, every day. And if someone knows what they're doing, they can get into your ship. No matter what defenses we put in there, short of welding all the entrances shut, which is obviously not possible.
Yeah, a dedicated enough person will find a way to get in. Yeah.
But there are ways to beat them at their own game, I guess is the way to say it. Make it so that when they try to sabotage something, they get a nasty present or surprise. Now, the only thing is that this would take time, and of course it would take money.
So you're talking about putting in anti-tampering devices, right? So say if they tried to cut the main power supply to our engines, it could electrocute them. That sort of thing?
Something like that, yes. Yeah, he looks nervously at Hart, who's grinning widely.
So I guess my only question is, I think it's a really great idea, but I would argue, just as if someone might be dedicated enough to break in to our ship, they might be keen enough to see the sabotage, unless you're able to blend it in seamlessly.
Hart starts shaking her head instead of nodding it. Seamus says, what you say is true. At that point, it just becomes really, who's the better mechanic? And I hate to say it in front of her, my money is on her.
Gotcha.
He shrugs, he says, of course, there's no such thing as a foolproof plan, but if you're willing to spend some money on it, we can certainly make it more difficult.
Gotcha. Well, I'm all up for the idea, and frankly, I'm up for you making it as lethal as possible, because frankly, no one just innocently, accidentally tries to sabotage our engines. I say whoever tries to do so should get what's coming to them. As long as you make it nice and subtle. While we're talking about this, I think the best form of defense is so people don't even know that we're on this hunt. But barring that, it definitely does not help. It does not hurt to prevent sabotage.
Yeah.
So other than the engines, what else were you thinking, Hart?
Hart grins again. She says, oh, everything. The engines, the door panels, the cockpit, the sensors, all connected to our biometrics. Meaning that you, me, or even Isaac over there could touch them free and clear. That anyone that's not registered, well, I don't like to be generic. I think that each one would have a slightly different surprise in store for them, in case they try more than one thing.
I see. What is the percentage of computer error? What is the chance that through some glitch in the system or someone holding it the wrong way, we're going to get a nasty surprise?
Well, if I do it the way I want to, about 25%. And then Seamus is like, but if we do it the way I want to, about 2%.
2% chance of accidentally getting fried by your own stuff.
Seamus says, of course, because of that, we would probably have to make it non-lethal, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It would certainly incapacitate them.
So you're talking about
What?
like the charge of a you have one of those, right, Xavier?
Narrow
little stun
stick?
baton?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hurts
Um,
like hell, but it won't kill you for the
Yeah,
most part.
that would be one of the surprises, yes. The basic concept is that if we made everything like a shock, if they found one, they'd know how to find them all. But the risk is rather low. If we do it my way, and he kind of looks at Hart again, what would have to happen is that our entire biometric system attached to the ship would have to somehow fail, which is incredibly low. And if they don't know where it is, they'll have no idea of how to counter it. It is, of course, not foolproof, but it's very small chance that it will fry ourselves.
What's the estimated cost of doing this entire rewiring system, your dream project?
Seamus kind of like coughs a little bit, and then Hart just goes, 300,000. Seamus goes, yeah, that.
Non-lethal, 300,000. We're talking about doors, cockpit, engines, sensors.
Well, even though there's a
Interesting.
very small chance, I'm going to have to say it anyways. My grandfather and I were very unique. There's a very slim chance that we will even encounter one like me. But back home, they have a kind of slang for people like me, gunslingers that are psionic. We're called
Okay.
slice slingers. And do you have that stun stick on you?
Yeah.
Can I see it, please?
Xavier shrugs and tosses it over to him.
Isaac will catch it, turn it on, and put it on his skin.
Hmm.
You will see the shock, and nothing will happen.
Is that true, God?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Nothing. Okay, something happens, but it's so minute that he wouldn't even show it.
Gotcha.
Like he doesn't. He doesn't. Flinch,
It'd be
that's
less
what I
than a
meant.
static shock for him.
Yeah.
Seamus will give a low whistle. Hart's eyes get very wide, and she leaps down off the box, and looks at you, looks at this neural stick, and then starts sticking you a bunch of times with it.
Hold up, Hart. Maybe
Huh?
the neural stick isn't functioning correctly.
Hart sticks herself with it.
Jesus.
And drops
What
it on the
happened?
floor.
Oh, well, no, it's working great. Xavier will retrieve the stun stick back. Put it back on his
Yeah.
belt.
Seamus kind of looks at the scene and then goes, yeah. Well, the good news is that, like I said, we would only be using that trick once. We have a bunch of surprises in store because if for example one of your kind were to come, they might get one of our systems, but they wouldn't get all of them. Something would have to take them down eventually.
All more reason to diversify, you're saying.
Seamus
Yeah.
nods.
Well,
We
guys,
could-
what do you think? I'm up for it. Security probably would not be such a bad thing. Although, if you could bring it down from 2% to maybe 0.2%, I'm sure we'd all appreciate it. Because the amount of times, I'm sure I'm going to be going to my own console more than 100 times, and I don't like that every 100 times I'm going to do it, there's a 2 of them I'm going to get some sort of horrible fucking thing happen to me.
Seamus thinks about it for a second and says, well, we are going to center.
Yeah.
I might could find one of those Teflon-plated biosystem boxes. If we can install that, it would certainly reduce the penalty, even if they... I mean, you're talking top of the line there.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be another 25,000, though.
Okay. All right, that's something to keep in mind. But I'm up for putting up the 300,000 of our, I guess you could say, corporate funds.
Mhm.
I'm all for it. Talavax for it. How about you, Lucas?
Booby trapping the place? I
Yeah.
always wanted to do that.
So I guess we got a big old yes to all of it. When Hart wakes up, tell her that she can go ahead and make preparations.
Seamus nods and says, "Thanks. We we won't let you down."
Great. Oh, don't tell Pa that she did that to herself.
Seamus just raises an eyebrow in a mischievous way.
Gotcha. Knew we hired you on for a reason there, Seamus. All right, I'm gonna get back, make sure we don't fly into an asteroid.
All right. Unless anyone else has anything they'd like to do, you can continue your journey to center.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, center isn't actually by the center of the universe, is it?
No, it's actually called center because it's considered the
galaxy.
center of the galaxy. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Its center is if there was a defining trade hub for the three galaxies, it would be center.
Gotcha, but it's actually not located in the center.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Right.
So my tweet will be correct. We are going to the center of the galaxy. Kinda. Kinda the center.
Yeah. You might even say that center is so big that it's even a trade hub from multiple dimensions. It's
Ooh.
yeah. But we'll get a little bit more into that as you land, which is now. You guys,
Oh, shit.
you guys fly to the world called Phase World, which is the planet on which Center resides. Phase World is the home of the Prometheans. Many of you, except perhaps Isaac, would have heard of the Prometheans, but it's unlikely you would have ever met one. Prometheans are an extremely advanced race. They are the developers of phase technology, which, as I mentioned earlier, is it's the thing Snipe wanted. It sells really hot because it's great and it's hard to get. They develop phase technology. They also have phasic powers themselves, which is different than magic and psionics. It's a completely different thing. They somehow are able to bend the reality of space and time to their will. They are completely neutral. They are the Swiss of the three galaxies.
Gotcha.
They don't like to get involved in any wars, though they have been known to push or pull when their interests are involved. And Phase World itself is mostly a barren world. Well, by normal standards. There are Prometheans who live in other parts of the planet, but the entirety of the three galaxies are limited to only Center, which is the gigantic city that you are now approaching.
You mean all visitors, all non-Prometheans
Correct.
go to
Correct. It is very, very rare that any non-Promethean has ever left the town of Center to see the rest of Phase World. But as you approach and enter Phase World's atmosphere, it's very easy to spot Center. It is a gigantic city. It is bigger than any city you've ever seen, and it is completely enclosed. It is like one gigantic building that is big enough to house hundreds of millions of people. The area directly around it is fairly settled as well, but you quickly see that outside of it there's nothing but planet. It's almost as if the civilization just stops. And as you approach Center, you are guided towards one of its numerous docking bays, and as you approach, you hear cackling over the radio of a robot's voice. "Welcome to Center. Is this your first time?"
Xavier will confirm, yes, it is.
"Would you like a tour of your possible features?"
Xavier will also form in the affirmative, and unsure if this will be a visual or audio display, he'll also inform his compatriots of such thing that they might want to mosey on up to the cockpit.
Okay.
All right. I'm not going to do the robot in character because it's rather droll and monotone, but I will give you guys a few highlights of the town of Center.
Great.
Which is one of the centers of the galaxy. It is divided into 10 levels, level 1 being at the top and level 10 going down at the bottom. Level 1 is what's called the manors, and this is where the richest people in Center and some say the Galaxies live. It is very posh. It is very famous for being clean and elegant and beautiful. But it's also very exclusive. It's very difficult to be invited or to get into the manors. You have to really know someone. Level 2A, half of the level is called the Gateland. Now, Gateland is basically what connects you to level 1, and it is literally a series of gates that keep the riffraff out. It's literally just a huge area of gates. Then you've got level 2B is a spaceport, which is where you're landing. It's an enormous spaceport with hundreds, even thousands of ships at any one time. It is, in and of itself, a space town, and I'm actually quoting this from the book. It is in and of itself a town. The spaceport itself has hotels and shops and people who live there. It is self-enclosed because it needs to be. You can find all the mechanics you would ever need there. You can find ship parts and ship labor, etc. It's very, very large. Right below that is level 3. Now, level 3 is divided into 2 sections, and you are first given a warning by the robot that level 3A is the Splagorth trading post, and that all non-Splagorth are cautioned from entering such areas without explicit permission from the Splagorth.
Oh my god. Sploogies.
And level 3B, right next to it, is the open market. This is where you most commonly find the shops and the marketplaces to buy and sell goods. And it is one of the largest in the 3 galaxies. Because not only does it deal and trade between the 3 galaxies, but there are also rifts to many other places, including Rifts Earth, which does trade with them, making this marketplace one of the most diverse in the Megaverse. Level 4 is the free trade zone, which is run by the Naruni Enterprises. It's basically been claimed by the Naruni Enterprises. They are so powerful and so rich that they market half that level as just their store, and a way to modify and control their interests. It's a major base for them as well, so it's a major headquarters. The other part of level 4 is called the Warlock Market. Now, this is where the United Worlds of the Warlock, which is a faction within the 3 galaxies of magic users, set up shop. And you can go here to find many magical items and artifacts.
Cool.
Then you've got the lower levels 5 through 8. These areas are not often frequented by visitors. For one, they're relatively smaller. While the first levels have a clearance of 100 feet, the lower ones only have while the higher levels have clearances of hundreds of feet, the lower ones only have a 100-foot ceiling. So they're smaller. These are where the common people go. The workers of not high repute or money. This is where the plebs go, for lack of a better term. And then levels 9 and 10, the last 2 levels of Center, are the most dangerous ones. This is where the people who have nowhere else to go or who are on the run go. These are the lawless territories. These are the Syndicate, not the Syndicate, I'm sorry, because there's nothing so organized down here, but this is where you can find a lot of independent black markets and criminals and people who just don't want to be found. It's also the most dangerous places. So, other than that, the robot then goes on to explain some of the notable citizens.
Before
just for
he
your
gets into
information.
that, can I ask just a general question during this tour, especially when he was talking about the free market and the Naruni level? Xavier is curious as to if there's any particular good or service that is banned or illegal here in Center.
I'm sorry, hang on. Can you give me 1 second? I'll be right back.
Okay, robot.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Robot has... Sorry, I'll be right back.
Xavier presses a button on his computer and the little Spanish flea plays. Second. I'm going to allow everyone to have this great roleplay experience by giving the chat a link.
So, Luke is basically going like, "We're going to Disneyland!"
Well, it might as well be.
Boy.
It's quite impressive. I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah.
Xavier, what's our ETA to leave? I mean, there's something I want to do.
Oh, what's that, Televac? Oh, what did you want to do?
You know what? I'll be back as well.
Vern is having none of this. Well, what did you want to do? I mean, we're landing. We're doing auto docking procedures right now.
I was just wondering how long we're going to stay here because
we have almost a week before we have to meet this contact. Although it would be nice to meet them earlier before we start this whole hunt business.
All right, because I'm gonna be hopefully I would be going to get some surgery.
Yes, I was actually thinking of something very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Cybernetic?
Yep.
Yeah,
for
me
your
too.
nose?
No, I pointed my eyes. I'm like, I want these enhanced.
Which were
Like
actually
bigger?
it's
What?
You mean like bigger? More plump? More round?
All that.
well. How about this? Let's make a small agreement, Talavac, because I wanted to talk to you about it beforehand. But well, the robot is accessing more information as we're auto docking. How about this? Now, obviously, I'd imagine we both try to find the most legitimate, the most safest cyberdock there is here in Center. However, it's probably not best that both of us go under the knife in case something happens. I suggest we stagger it, and we all, as a group, agree that if something were to go bad or foul when we went under, that the others would investigate.
Okay.
I've just heard bad stories of people going in for cyberware and just not waking up. Or they soon getting out of surgeries and they get jumped by cyber snatchers. Typically, that doesn't happen in the most reputable places, but it never hurts to be careful.
Well, given the looks of this place and who runs it, I doubt that they're going to have that type of problem. I mean, yeah, outside of here, yes, but in here, I don't see a problem.
Yeah, it's always good to have a contingency.
Well, if anybody
sure.
tries to get you, I'm gonna give them the 1-2.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lucas. Who the fuck was that?
That was HK.
I think
So,
so, yeah. That was HK.
HK got bored.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Well, say hi, love.
Hi, love.
Shock. Someone use F word.
She said she's in culture shock because someone said fuck.
Okay.
You guys,
Fuck,
you
fuckity,
just
fuck,
ruined
fuck,
her
fuck.
innocent ears.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, who
I'm
said
very
that?
sorry.
I blanket. It's background sound at this point.
Despite the fact that she once had an app on her phone to create custom insults.
I was about to say we've heard the stuff that you say. No, just kidding.
Just page where you want.
Oh no, I'm fine.
No, I'm asking.
Right there. Okay, sorry about that, guys.
It's okay. I'm not
So-
upset at all. I honestly hope I didn't offend HK.
Oh no, you didn't. I meant sorry about the break.
HK is new GM.
Yeah.
Her
You're all
laptop
now
broke and we have to
kittens.
get her a new one. So,
No.
so you had asked a question.
Yes.
Of the
Is there any trade, item, or service that is considered illegal here in Center?
Yes, the robot says there are several items that are considered illegal in the town of Center, and it starts launching into a very long list of things that you would commonly find illegal through most places of the galaxy.
May you give some examples, perhaps?
Yes,
No,
but
I don't want the entire list.
Okay. Hang on, let me think.
Like slaves, I'm assuming?
Yeah. It says slaves are illegal with the exception of Splagorth territory.
Of course.
It also makes an exception that says that debtors to Narune that have illegally been sold into slavery are also an exception. It says piracy is illegal. Buying stolen goods from pirates is illegal. one thing to note is that strangely there aren't many narcotics that are considered illegal. There are a few magical items that are considered illegal, but nothing that your characters would recognize, except maybe Lucas.
Yay.
Most importantly,
What's the important thing?
I'm trying to think. There's I'm trying to think what would actually still be illegal here. There are yes. Any Naruni technology not sold by the Naruni themselves, any Splagorth technology not given by the Splagorths themselves. There are rules against buying or selling from other merchants in the same center. Like, for example, there is a law against buying from one merchant and then reselling it on the same level. And small things like that. Your character, Xavier, and Talavek, you would probably know as well. You've heard from Center. While it is giving you a list of things that are illegal, it does not by any way, shape, or form mean you can't find them in this city.
Gotcha.
It's a robot.
All
giving you-
cities are the same.
Exactly. Well, even more so, it's a robot with a programmed list. So.
Okay, well that appeases my information. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you before you went into prominent individuals.
Okay, I have a question for the group, actually. Xavier, we need to prioritize our tasks here. So what's first?
First, I think we should finish listening to the robot.
I thought he was finished.
No, he was gonna go into important members, important individuals of Center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll unpress the pause button now.
The robot would tell you about Thraxis, who you also heard from Paul. Thraxis is the oldest resident of the Manors level, the level 1, and the records go back at least 5,000 years that he has been there. He is also on the board of directors for the Naruni Enterprises, the Galactics Phase World franchise, and is an important shareholder in the Transdimensional Corporation. He is basically the man's man. And you guys know he also is rumored to have some underworld dealings as well. He is probably the most powerful or prominent person on Center, short of the Prometheans themselves.
Gotcha.
He also goes on to tell you about Ansher, the Eye of Clincrith. Ansher is a Splagorth High Lord and is very rarely seen out of Splagorth areas. However, he is considered the man in charge of Section 3A, and not to be, and the robot literally says this, not to be trifled with.
Oh, for a second I think it'd be, and don't fuck with him. That's a polite way of saying that, I guess.
I have a
And last
suggestion,
but
just really quickly. While this robot is explaining things, is he providing pictures?
yes, he is.
Okay. Isaac is very silent. That's it.
Okay. And then last but not least, he says Trader Smithers from the Naruni Enterprises. Smithers is a member of the Utini race, and he will go on to explain that the Naruni, the face of the Naruni are not the Naruni themselves, but they are a separate race called the Utini. And just for your guys, your meta knowledge, that all the characters you see when you see Naruni, the aliens without a mouth, those are Utini. Those are not the Naruni themselves. But Naruni, Trader Smithers is the head honcho of the Naruni Free Trade Zone Naruni for the Naruni Enterprises. And he is in charge of Naruni's above-the-board dealings. He also controls a large segment of the black market, though the robot does not tell you this. You characters, I think it's safe to say that Talavek and Xavier would have heard of who's in charge of one of the largest black markets in the Megaverse. And that's it. There are other notable people, but the robot does not seem inclined to... he basically says, would you like to know more?
And I will put in no.
Thank
Xavier
God.
will spin around in his chair and say, okay.
Now!
Yes.
Can we prioritize our tasks here?
Sure. What do you think?
Well, I think that what you said before about one of us going in one at a time to get the surgery, it all depends on what procedure is going to take the longest, or the shortest, actually.
Well, we won't know until we actually go to a good old cyber dock.
Yeah.
So my suggestion is pretty simple.
Hmm.
We spend, say, about 4 days, exploring center, shopping, that sort of thing. My suggestion is that we at least go in pairs. Not because we necessarily have to go anywhere place dangerous, but um, it's probably pretty easy to get lost here, and it's always good to have somebody back us up just in case.
Hmm. Okay.
And so I say we do some shopping, we get to know the place, and then 3 days beforehand, or after the fourth day, we go to this location that Pa gave us and see if we can't. I know we won't probably be able to officially start this great hunt, but maybe we'll get some information to help us plan ahead of time.
Okay. And what are you wearing? I mean, are you going armor or are you going casual?
Well, that is an excellent question, and I'm going to dial up the robot again and ask laws involving weapons and body armor here.
The robot says, due to the incident 30 days ago in section A3B, and it will show you a picture of the other side of the center from where you're approaching. There is a large smoldering black hole in the side of the city.
That's an incident, Xavier says sarcastically.
There has been a temporary ban placed upon all mega damage items and gear. At the moment, no full environmental bodysuits or weapons of mass destruction are allowed outside of your own personal ship.
Lame. I'll just say that over a couple of times. Lame. Okay. SDC gear it is.
That is an interesting question. Robots,
Yes, sir.
what if it is a mega damage being?
Well, by all accounts, we cannot refuse a mega damage being from doing business here on Center. However, if they are seen engaging in combat with anyone without proper cause or provocation, they will be severely penalized.
Understood.
Gotcha.
Would you like to know more?
Xavier presses no. Shut up, robot. All right, anyways. So I guess that answers our question.
Okay. I guess we'll wig it from here.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. So how about this? Talavac, how about you and I pair up first?
Okay.
We poke around. We try to find a real cyber dock, right? Legitimate cyber dock on the higher levels,
Right.
Perhaps probably in the free market. We see how the procedures that we're interested in regarding time, and whoever's will take the longest should go first.
Yeah, to get that out of the way.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, out of character, guys.
Yeah.
I'm willing to just now talk about stuff we want to get rather than role playing everything. But that's up to you guys. That's just my vote.
Sure, you will notice that Isaac is still very quiet and not really conversing with anybody.
Okay. Because it would also be really fun to explore. Because it would be also be really fun to explore Center also in character as well. But we all have all this money burning in our pocket and this list of stuff we want to get. It would be nice to get that stuff out of the way first, don't you think? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know how you guys want to handle this. Or even
have
you,
a
Squee.
few things. So I have 2 role plays and 1 buying. 2 shops to go to. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. As far as my stance on it is, anything that was on the list. In Inferno, you did kind of give me a list, so I have an idea of what you're going for. And if that's changed, so go
Sure.
ahead and just let me know.
It definitely has changed. I don't remember giving you a list.
You
I
like a
remember
verbal.
vaguely
You didn't actually
implying
give
something.
me a list. You kind of said
Oh,
you
I
wanted to do.
inferred a list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I could tell you now if you like.
sure, by all means.
Okay. So what Xavier's goal is here, as far as getting stuff goes here on Phase World, it's two things. The first is a cybernetic surgery, getting the Cyber Disguise AA1, the one that's like almost 500,000 credits, the really super involved one that's in the Rift's main book.
Mhm.
And then the second goal is for him to, he can forge things, right? But he's not an expert on it by any means, right? He's still a practicing individual. And frankly, if you want to get something done right, instead of doing it yourself, sometimes it's good to pay a professional for. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Right.
And what I'm really interested in is getting fake identification and fake credentials for 5 individuals, 5 personas in which I've created. And that would be something I would want to get after the cyber disguise.
Got it. Okay.
So by credentials, I mean like identification, the equivalent of birth certificates. You know, I mean like I want 5 people to come into existence. You know, as far as records go.
And
I'm willing
okay,
to spend a lot of money for that.
I have one very important question. Actually, first, if you can, if you want to go ahead and expedite this, if you wanted to roleplay, that's great. We can do it that way. But if you kind of want to just sort of expedite, just give me a streetwise check. To kind of and anyone who has streetwise can help him as well to just simulate how successful you are at finding a good person to do this.
Okay.
Because you can
I'm
find
gonna do a
people,
streetwise.
but Xavier's not
Sure.
looking for just someone.
Exactly. I'm not just looking for anybody. I'm
Right.
looking for special people. All right. Open up ye olde character. Streetwise. Good old 48. Almost a 50-50 chance. Here we go. Yay! I
Yeah.
succeed by 10.
Mm-hmm.
You will say it takes you a day or two of asking around, asking the right questions, poking the right boxes, etc. You find exactly someone you're looking for. In fact, it is an old acquaintance of yours. And
Ooh.
it's a gentleman.
Delightful.
It's a gentleman by the name of
Uh-huh.
Seth Geyser, and you are
Sweet.
familiar with his work. While you have not personally used his work yourselves, you are actually more kind of friends or at least acquaintances back in the day. You know that his work was sought after by very wealthy underworld individuals.
Great. Great.
So the next question I have to ask is,
Mm-hmm.
how fast do you want this done? Do you want this done before the Great Hunt starts? Because basically
Yes.
breathing people into existence is a complex process. So okay,
Of course it is.
so here's the deal.
So I have
get-
to pay for it to be a priority. I
Exactly.
understand.
To expedite it.
Mhm.
To for the full package, papers,
Mhm.
birth certificates, everything you need to be a living, breathing person, it is normally 100,000 credits per person. If you want to
Okay.
expedite that, double it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at $1 million
Yes.
for 5 people.
Or 500,000 for in like 3 weeks' time.
I'm willing to spend the money for $1 million for 5 people. That's what I got the money for. So, yep, I'll pull the trigger on that.
Okay. He says that he can have it ready for you in 5 days, which is going to be, say it took you a day to find him, you'll have 1 day to spare. It'll be like the day or two
Great.
before you have to start the Grey Hunt.
Great. Wonderful. Wonderful.
All right.
So we can just storytell the rest of that, but I will not. I will not take anyone else's time. Oh, maybe before going into this, for the cyber disguise. Cyber disguise
Sure.
doable?
Yes. In fact,
Okay,
here's what I was
great.
going to say for both you and Talavac. And well, I should ask:
Mhm.
is there anyone else that wants any sort of cyber work done whatsoever?
I do.
Yeah, I know Talavac. You're going to get the optic eyes. Is Lucas or Isaac?
Oh God,
Nope.
no.
Okay.
Because it
That's right.
interferes with our abilities.
Yeah, I forgot about that for a second. Okay, so you have a couple of options, both of you. Because I is it fair to say you guys went shopping together, more or less?
Mhm.
Okay. you basically have three options. You we'll start with the cyber disguise. You can find a cyber doctor who is a bit suspect, offering the procedure for 300,000. You have a cyber doctor who looks competent and has competent equipment that's offering the procedure for about 500,000, and you can go into the Naruni free market area and get it's going to be the same implants, but you'll be using their top of the line procedures and cyber doctors for 750,000.
I'll take option number 2.
Okay, and the same thing is going to be for you, Talavac. The price differences are, it's going to be the multi-optic eye. Do you want 1 or 2?
2.
Okay, it's going to be 80,000, 125,000, or 250,000.
I'll have to go in the middle range too.
Okay. All right. Then yeah, it'll be that much. Recovery time for the disguise, believe it or not, is actually going to be a bit shorter than the eyes, because while it is rather extensive, it's more of a sub-tissue thing. It's not as invasive as the eye procedure is. It's going to be, you'll be walking around after the surgery, but you're not going to feel great for about a day, and after about 2 or 3 days, if you have some Advil type medicine, you'll be fine.
I'll just see if they have any there, and just give me the do's and don'ts, and I'll head on my way.
Well, I'm confused. What?
I know. I'm just saying, if they have any pain reliever there.
Yeah. They would offer, as part of the procedure, mild painkiller.
And just hear their do's and don'ts of my new implant.
Don't poke it out with a spoon.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy is not exactly the type of doctor who's going to sit down and give you a consultation.
Okay. I just wanted basically to know how to handle it.
Okay. Yeah. He would at least instruct you in that and what you can do. Your Inferno, your procedure is a little bit less recovery time than his, because like I said, it's less invasive. There's taking out an eye, and then there's installing packets and stuff below the skin.
Yeah, plus a few other things, but yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, like there's a microchip in the skull. There's a little thing on the voice box, but yeah, I understand. Yeah,
your entire head's going to be sore for a few days. You're definitely functional, and if you take the mild painkillers like the Advil type things, you shouldn't have any huge problems. You would have a -1 to perception check for about a day, but as we're kind of handling this narratively speaking, unless you go looking for a fight, you won't have an issue.
Great. All right, no problem. Then, is it okay now that I have a new face and I'm getting new identities that I just quickly roll through the identities that I'm going through, just to kind of keep them? I'm going to be recording this, of course, and keeping this in mind, but just so you as the DM are aware of what I'm going for?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So, of course, there's me, Xavier Enderson. I don't need fake for credentials to be me, right? And obviously my face is going to be set how I actually look, right? Then there's going to be Philip Buckley, who is my smuggler alias, right? Before he was just a name, murmured, an alias. Now he's going to be a full-fledged person, right? He's going to be a slightly older. He's going to also have dark hair. He's going to have different color eyes. He's going to be slightly older, and he's going to have a little bit of a rounder face, like a little bit more heavier set. Okay. These are just general descriptions. I'll get into more detail later. Of course, I am going to also make Joel Amston, our good friend Amston the Shark, that blonde-headed sociopath. He's going to be a person now, for real, as well. Then I'm going to have 3 other individuals. A fellow named Terry Caldwell. He's going to be African-American. I'll fill in the details later. Ronaldo Felipe, who's going to be Hispanic. And Seto Kanataro, who's going to be Japanese. And these will all be very fun personas to play with.
Okay.
But now, of course, I'm saying these 6 in particular only because my new cyber disguise kit can store up to 6 separate faces that can be changed on kind of a whim. It takes some time for them to shift, especially the skin tone. But these are going to be the programmed faces that match up with these 6 IDs.
Mm-hmm. The one question that Seth Geyser would have asked would be, with any of these IDs, do you want them to be affiliated with any group or organization, and do you want information on all members? Integrated
obviously.
Sorry.
Into what? Sorry.
Integrated into the papers and the background.
Only one. Only one that I have in mind. Because Xavier Anderson himself is the co-owner, co-founder of Starluck Enterprises, and that's in the paperwork, so I don't have to worry about that. The only person, Philip Buckley, is a smuggler by trade, so he doesn't have a specific profession. Joel Amston, I want him to be marketed as the owner of a business, more specifically an organization called Black Metal Works.
Okay.
For Terry Caldwell and the other fellows, as far as like jobs or professions, that's something that I can come up on my own. There's nothing that needs to. Actually, no. Make Seto Kanataro. Making them an engineer out of Noble Station.
Engineer out of Noble Station. Got it.
Yeah. The other ones can be blank slates, for lack of a better word.
Okay. Great. All right, and he will get the papers done, and like I said, since we're doing narrative, we'll take care of it now.
Sure.
When you do pick up the papers, they are of exceptional quality, as is to be expected of his level of work.
Wonderful. They're practically real. That's great. And just out of curiosity, I want to ask my good friend Seth, if I do come up, if I want slight alterations to the paperwork, like say if I do find a good profession for Terry or Ronaldo, I can come back to you, and for a nominal fee, you might be able to update the paperwork, the records?
He nods and says that his work comes with a lifetime guarantee, in the sense that if you ever need tweaks or changes to the paperwork, they would come free of charge as long as you come to him.
Great. Oh, there would be no one else I'd rather come to, Seth. Frankly, one of the reasons why I like you so much is because you're a lot like me. You are a guy of your word, even though we do some shady stuff.
Yeah, but you can never hold your liquor.
I've gotten better. We'll have to test that at some point.
Maybe we should.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sorry. I'd love to catch up, but I have got so much to do.
Of course. I'll let you get out of work. Thank you so much.
Anytime,
Okay.
Whoever you are.
And Xavier will switch his face to the Phil persona with a little bit of pain, a little bit of a wince. He says, Buckley, you know me. Phil Buckley, the famous smuggler?
Of course. Phil Buckley, until next time.
You bet. And with that, though, one just last little thing to say about this, just talk about the storage of these things. I would like to, I'm just wondering, in my quarters on the Starluck, is there any sort of panel or something that I can use as kind of a hidden storage area? Even if it's going up into the venting or the ceiling or something like that?
No, but here's what
Okay.
here's what can happen if your character would be interested.
Yeah.
Obviously you already found some decent hiding spots, but I think what you're looking for is a bit more secure.
Yep.
On center, you can find what are called portable slicks, or portable hiding spots. And what this is you find a section of tile that will perfectly match one of the tiles in your room, and it's very thin and very fine, but also very strong material. Then you can hollow out just enough of the whatever tile you need to put something in, and then literally place this fake tile front over it, and it is so thin that it's seamless.
Groovy. Yeah, how much are those suckers?
They're about 5,000 per panel.
No, just how many panels would I need to put in all my credentials, all my fake credentials?
We're talking like a foot by foot panel, so you could do it in one, maybe two if you needed.
No,
The thing is that
and get the extra space.
sure, and the reason is why one of the reasons why it's so inexpensive is because this is what they were designed for. This is what you, as a intelligent smuggler, have repurposed them for. They're normally meant as decorative but still functional patches.
I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, done. And that is everything I want. Thank you for letting me take the time to go over that, guys.
All right. Everyone else, with the exceptions of what you would like to roleplay, and I know, Bern, I said there were a few things you would have to roleplay. Everything that I had mentioned on your list and the prices I gave you are as stands. You can basically say that within the week of your time on Center, you were able to find it. Like I said, if there's anything you would like to roleplay, just let me know.
Well,
Yes.
is there anything
Okay.
that you have, Lucas?
I have 2 roleplay things.
Go for it.
So,
All right.
after gleefully buying my 2 things, one of them in a high secured box because of what it is, may not open on station. Got it.
Yes.
He's-
Actually, that one would be, because of the current restrictions in effect, that one would be delivered directly to your ship.
Okay, so not on hand. Cool. And his other item that is around his wrist at this point. He is going to go to, I believe what it was a music store that was marked down on the back of his keytar.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was. I'd have to pull up the name, but yes, it was on the back of the keytar was an engraved message that simply said the name of a store, back shelf underneath an object.
Mhm.
And I wrote it down. I'm trying to find it, but yes, continue.
So he's going to try to go to that location.
Okay, it would take you about a day or so to find it because there's so many stores. But you would eventually find it. I'm not going to make you roll for it because perseverance is really all that's needed.
Mhm.
And it's an old shop. It's an old shop that's very. There's lots of dust everywhere. It's run by an elderly wolfen that his whiskers have kind of been tied down almost into a Fu Manchu.
Okay.
And he is so old that he squints as you enter. Goes, customer.
Hello. I am just gonna browse for now, if that's okay.
Yes, yes, browse, browse. Browse and buy mini browse, yes?
Do you sell browse?
He stares at you. Two squinty eyes, not sure how to respond.
I'm gonna take that as a no. I'm gonna browse a bit.
Yes, yes, he says, a little unsure.
God, if he sold browse, I would buy them in an instant. Anyway, my character's gonna go to the that back shelf, or look around until he finds the back shelf, and try to look in that spot.
Okay. You would find underneath a small mechanical doohickey
Mhm.
a rather small hollow disk. It is a disk that you can put into, say, a portable computer to play a message. It's covered in cobwebs, so it's obviously been there for quite some time.
Is there a price tag on it?
There is none.
Is there like a scanner bar thing?
No.
Okay. I'm going to assume that this is some sort of secret thing, and I'm not going to go up to the front and be like, I'd like to purchase this, please. I would like to, this message, I would like to buy it.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to need to do that. Like, I don't really know how the...
I understand, but I do love the idea that this thought's running through his head.
Just like, do I buy this? Is it a thing that I buy? Would it be a store for this to be bought?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. What you're in is like a music / pawn
Okay.
shop.
So this is clearly out of place.
yes.
Okay, so not gonna buy it. Got it. So he's he's actually going to just browse around a bit. He's going to buy a harmonica
Okay.
for the nice gentleman.
All right. He will say, yes, browse and small, buy small. And he'll sell you the harmonica for 50 credits.
They're expensive freaking instruments. All right.
You pay now.
It's not exactly, it's not even a really high quality harmonica either.
$50 for a harmonica. Jeez. All right. So thing number 2 that I'd like to do, leaving such a store, he's actually going to check around the magic district, and he's going to actually have the lockbox that he found on that the cache, the pirate cache.
Okay.
He's actually going to check around to see if anybody knows anything more about this. Not the details about the item, but maybe its history or
Oh,
who it's
yes.
from. And things like that.
Okay. Where would you like to look for this? This is kind of important.
I was almost positive there was like a floor section for like magic or
The floor that's half the floor is run by the Society of Warlocks.
that's the one.
Yes. Okay. You could go there to their markets and ask around, and you'd be quite easily told that, oh, well, yeah, that's one of our common lockboxes. Are you from the Confederation of Warlocks?
I don't believe so.
Huh. I can definitely feel the energy in you. It's rare to find someone who knows our arts outside of our society.
He's hitting on you.
Where are you from?
Well, I'm generally oh, do you mean like where I came from or where I was born? There's a lot of places I'm from.
Where
I kinda
did
move around
you
a lot.
learn?
Oh, do you know a planet Blorthox?
His eyes get really big, and then he takes a second look at your clothing, and then he says, "Oh, you're one of those. Well, I've never met one. It's nice to meet you. Um, I'm afraid I've got to close for lunch, though. It's lovely talking to you and all, but, well, just try not to
But
touch
sir,
anything or cast any spells, okay?
do you know where the box came from though?
We all sell them. They're usually used to keep scrolls and other magical items of importance."
But there's like a thing on the back. Does this mean anything?
He looks at it very quickly and he says, "Oh yeah, that's an order of warlocks on our home planet. The Osiris, I think they were called. Anyway, anything else I can help you with?"
I guess not. Would would you would you like a balloon animal?
He purses his lips. He says, "I would absolutely not like a balloon animal from you, sir. I've heard about balloon animals from people like you. I really must insist. I must go to lunch."
It's a nice shape though. I can make it into
"I
a
really
little hat.
must insist, sir."
Well, I guess.
And he kind of ushers you out of the store, and then you see him immediately like dash to another store.
Call me.
And you hear like excited chatter, and you hear the word ludicrous, and then you see two faces peeking out at you as you walk away.
I made up that plan. I don't know what he's.
Yes, you did.
I gotta look up Blarthax, whatever that is.
Before I move on, would your character have listened to the holotape, or are you going to wait on that?
Let's just finish this up and say yes.
Okay. The message is fairly short, but rather important. When you play it, you hear a voice speaking in low tones. If you're listening to this, it means that you have been tracking me, and you must share my love for music, which is good. I wish I could meet you in person, but I don't know if that'll ever be possible. I've found a terrible, terrible secret that this galaxy forgot. But they're not gone, and I have to try and find a way to stop them. They are not like you or me. They are metal, but not like robots. If you ever find them, just know there is no pity, there is no remorse, there is no reasoning with them. They will try to kill you and everyone you've ever known. If you want to find me, follow whatever clues you can and help me stop this menace. I have to go.
Okay.
And then the tape stops.
What a nice man. Alright, he's gonna tuck that away. And that'll be it for me. I'd rather not hold up anything else.
Oh, I'm sorry. One last thing I forgot.
Okay.
At the end of the holotape, when he says he has to go, you hear a very, very strange mechanical clicking. And it's strange because you've been around machines a lot, but this one's very unique. It's almost melodic. It's like a clicking, but if someone were to click a chime. And it's a noise that you've never heard before, so it kind of sticks in your mind, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Byrne, you've been very, very patient, sir.
He's muted.
Maybe too patient.
Why not a little Spanish flake?
Da 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 da. I didn't realize that I was still muted. Whoops. Here I was talking. All right, so I have several role plays.
Yes, you do. You have a few.
Yeah, so let's start off with the vehicles. It's safe to assume that they wouldn't allow the robot horse to move outside,
Correct.
right? Okay, because
Yes.
it is technically a weapon. It can attack.
Okay.
I will just try and browse and try and find first off either a robot horse vendor or a techno wizard, whichever
Okay.
I find first.
You would find a robot horse vendor first.
Okay.
The robot horse vendor says, "Hello, sir. Oh, you look like just my kind of customer. Can I interest you in one of our newest models of robotic horses? They float off the ground. They don't even have legs.
What?
Faster, less maintenance."
That's really weird. Actually, sir, I have a robot horse on my
Oh.
ship. They're not allowing me to move it, but I was wondering if you could possibly put some hide on it.
Oh, of course. You mean to make it look like a real horse?
Yes, yes.
Absolutely, sir, we can. We have several different models for you to choose from. And he pulls out like a catalog that not only has colors but has samples of tuft so that you can kind of peruse like you're picking a paint color.
Yeah, and I'll flip through them and everything, and he'll also say, Oh, would you happen to have they used to have that back on home on Earth, voice recognition software, that kind of stuff?
Yes, he says very hesitantly. Well, yes and no.
Oh,
I don't have simple voice recognition software in the sense you're thinking of. I did get a batch of personality AI, for the horses, which include the voice recognition software. However, they well, it wasn't exactly it was a bit of a faulty shipment, if I must be honest. Now, they work just fine. Work perfectly well. However, they are lacking their override mechanism.
So you
Meaning
can't
that,
tell it to shut up.
well, you can try, it just doesn't have to obey. But they are very friendly personalities.
Okay.
And I am selling them at a discount for obvious reasons. I wouldn't want to besmirch my name by selling full price at at well, less than superior goods.
I have a well. Once you install it, is it possible to uninstall it?
Well, yes, it would be irreversible though. That AI core would be destroyed.
So
In essence, it would be like
killing an AI.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know how you feel about that, but I hesitate only because different people have wildly differing views on it.
Huh. Well, first off, I'm very interested in this coloring, and he'll pick out the Mustang looking one. You know, the general brown to black and
Mhm.
little white dot on the nose and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And you know what? Yeah, give me the AI core. How much will that be?
Well, taking a look here real quick. And to just narratively speak it, it's the price that you suggested. What was the price for the voice recognition?
100,000.
Okay. It's still going to be 100,000 because it's an AI package.
Yeah, it's
but
an AI package.
sold
So.
at a reduction. So yeah, it's basically the same price as what you had on your list for the tuft and the realism effects and the AI package.
Yeah, fake musculature, tail, mane, hoof coverings,
Exactly.
all that.
Hoofs, everything, the whole shebang. The only thing he asks is if you want the eyes to also look realistic, or if you'd like to keep their robotic feel, because some people dig that.
You know what? Make it realistic.
Okay. And he says, we'll have our mechanics go to your ship. It'll have to be done in your hangar bay. It doesn't have to be in your ship, of course, but we'll have to make the modifications within the hangar bay itself. There's a restriction right now on mega damaged vehicles.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Here's the credits, and
Thank you very much. Like I said, they will be delivered tomorrow and installed tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your patronage, sir.
All right, and my next thing will be a techno wizard.
Okay. They're fairly easy to find. You would find them mostly in this kind of the same place Piph went to. The Federation of Warlocks is where you're going to find the most of them.
Oh shit! Okay. That's above level 3, isn't it?
It is. Or below, technically. Yes, you're going to have to pass through level 3. But you could pass well through the open market and not even get close to the other side. It's up to you.
Will I have to go by the Spligorth?
No.
Okay.
Level 3 is several miles, so you wouldn't have to get closer than a few miles. Yeah.
Isaac will take great pains to stay as far away as possible from it.
Okay. You'll find that the Techno Mages, the ones you find there, are affiliated with the Federation of Warlocks, but aren't officially members of the Federation of Warlocks. Not that there are none, but these particular ones happen to be freelancers that are on really friendly terms with the Federation, so they're able to do business there.
Cool.
And as you walk in, there's several of them at different workbenches. Almost like, have you ever walked into like a jeweler shop or a watch repair shop? There's several desks and people all working at them on tiny, minute things or big sets of armor, and they all look up. And one of them, who is an older gentleman, maybe in his 60s, a little bit chubby, slightly balding, and claps his hands together and goes, customer. Welcome to Techno Wiz.
Okay. Hi. I was wondering, are you guys able to imbue armor and things like that?
Well, of course. Patrick over there is a specialist in it. Yeah, I know. I just pulled the name out of my head. Sorry.
Haha.
Patrick over there is a specialist at it.
Well, I have a set of armor that I would like to be imbued with armor within, and I just going to say while I'm talking to him, I'm going to slowly work from American into Technocan.
Okay.
Um,
And as you do so, he'll be like, at first he'll say, "Oh, well, of course there's a bit." Whoa. Huh, that was so smooth, I almost didn't even notice it. He says in full Technokin.
Thank you, and Isaac will bow.
It's rare to find a customer who speaks our language, he says with no small sense of irony. He says, there is a ban on mega damage gear. We would have to have it transported here and transported back to your ship, but absolutely, sir, we could imbue it with what you're asking.
All right. It is basically one of these, and he's going to kind of move around his duster a bit. But it has mega damage plates sewn into it.
Yes, there was a gentleman here the other day with a very similar getup. Well, not the jacket, of course, but and he kind of motions to the rest of your outfit. Similar, asking for the same thing. Are you acquainted?
Maybe? Can you tell me what he looks like?
Oh, well, sure. He had dark, slicked back hair. He wore like a black shirt with a brown leather vest. It was the leather vest that he wanted the enchantment on, and well, he had this demeanor around him. I don't know how quite to say it, but well, he just gave off an aura of being rough, I guess is the only way I could say it. Maybe dangerous, but not threatening. Just not a particularly comfortable gentleman to be around. And he stops and goes, I mean, unless he's your friend, and then I'm sure I'm just completely misreading it. I do tend to ramble on.
While he's talking, Isaac will kind of grow more and more interested, and he will simply say, well, did he have anything on his wrists? Any kind of tattoos?
Wrists? Oh, no, not that I can recall.
Okay, then I don't know him.
Oh, well, this is Center after all. We get all kinds, so perhaps you're a long-lost kin or something. In any case, sir, we'll have it delivered to your ship within 3 days.
Isaac won't respond immediately, and then he'll say, yeah. Actually, you know what? I'll give it a shot. He'll reach into his duster and pull out a wallet, and he'll flip it open, pull out a picture, and hand it to him.
Okay.
And it's a picture of a really burly man with slick black hair, a beard, and he is holding a sort of petite blonde woman with blue eyes.
Okay.
You will see a picture of a heart with a stake through it on his right wrist.
Okay.
Did he look like that?
No, sir. I'm sorry, he didn't.
All right, thank you. And Isaac will put the picture back into his wallet, and then that'll be that for that roll.
All right.
I will make sure to pay him, and I'm looking for 40 MDC. Would that be feasible?
Okay. That will be feasible, yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be about the limits of what they can do, but they can certainly do that.
Yeah, so we'll do that. And then the last one will be with Heart.
Okay. You're going to find Heart shopping? Actually, no. We'll say that, because would you have done this after you did your shopping?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's already gotten all the fun goodies she needs. You'll see her hard at work on Xavier's doorframe.
Hey, Heart.
Yes, what? Oh, hand me that wrench, please.
Yeah, sure. And he will use telekinesis and hand her the wrench.
She takes. She's not even looking, so she doesn't even know that you did.
Yeah, that's
And
fine.
she starts ratcheting something.
I was wondering if you could make me a few things.
You hear? Yeah. I'm not very good at making shoes.
You're not very good at making shoes.
I've never really tried. I suppose I could give it a shot.
I was actually going to ask if you could make some kind of like magnet or something on my body armors, boots, on the bottom of the boots.
Well, I could try, but wouldn't it be simpler to just buy a magnet and have me put it on there? I mean, to make a magnet is...
No, I'm talking about buying a magnet and then integrating it into the boot. Do you think you could do that?
And like her ratchet stops for a second. Well, if you get the right kind of pads, I could. It might not be incredibly... Well, no, you wear boots. If I cut it up a little bit, I could probably do that, sure. It'll have to be done after the modifications, though.
Oh, yeah.
Too much to do.
Yeah, of course. Actually, I have a list of things that if you get bored, you could possibly make.
She actually stops and looks at you with her eyes shiny. She says, "There are many times when I'm bored."
Yeah. Well, Squee, would it be safe to say that they have like gun lockers and things like that I was describing?
Yes,
In
yes.
center? Yeah. Isaac would start describing a gun locker and say, "Well, I want one of these in my room, but I want the lock to be on the inside. If you could manage that."
Are you going to live inside it?
No, I can unlock it from the outside.
Oh.
I-
You might want to talk to Seamus about that one. I'm not really familiar with locks. I mean, obviously buying the chest is easy, but you're talking about moving a lock from the outside to the inside. However, Seamus does seem to have a knack for locks.
Oh, I can ask him. That's a good point. And
She nods.
I think the last device that I'm kind of interested in is, you saw how you kept shocking me with that shock stick?
Her face grimaces for a second. She's like, "I do."
Would it be at all possible, do you think, to maybe like cannibalize a couple of those and make a pair of gauntlets to do that? Like gloves?
Well, it would be fairly simple to just run a current through the gloves like they do with the neural mace. However, it's going to shock whoever touches it, including the wearer.
That's fine with me.
Oh, right. The whole shocky thing in you.
Mhm.
Ooh. Oh, I could do that.
Does that sound like fun?
It does. I'll need the equipment, though.
Sure.
I tell you what. I've got to finish up these improvements, but get all the... And she starts, like, writing down a list. She says, "Get me all of these things, put them in the engine room, and when I have time, I'll get to them."
Sounds good. And then, narratively speaking, we will say that Isaac got all of those, and we can hash that out later.
Yeah, on the list is basically everything you'd need, plus also at the bottom it says 6 bars of chocolate.
You will get 6 bars of chocolate. And that'll be it from me.
And next to it, it has asterisk that says "vital to make it work." All right. Is there any other roleplay anyone would like to do before? I believe Inferno had suggested trying to go arrive a little bit early.
Sure, yeah. There's just... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Piffy.
No, that was me.
Sorry, David.
There was one item that I forgot, and it was Byrne who reminded me. I also wanted to get some gravity. I could... What the hell am I trying to say?
Magnets.
Yeah, some magnet boots.
Okay.
Something that I could use compatibly with my armors.
Okay. There is a way to go about doing that. There are magnetic pads that you can buy, as opposed to just the magnetic. Obviously, there's magnetic boots, but there's also magnetic pads that can be sewn or attached to boots or gloves, which is basically what Hart's going to do for
Isaac.
For Isaac, most people tend to use them in gloves because it just gives you more versatility, but you can sew them to boots. They're electroadhesive pads. They basically run an electric charge through magnets to connect you to things. Here's the two things. And of course, this goes for you as well, Isaac. You would need a hip pack or a backpack generator. Basically, you'd need a box that's about a foot square and maybe 2 inches thick, and you need to either have that on your belt somewhere or on your back, on your body somewhere, in order to generate the charge to run through the pads to make them magnetic.
I could probably definitely fit that on my back.
Yeah. A foot by 2 inches?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can have that on my back. That's fine with me.
Okay. All right.
I have a couple things to bring up real quick before we move into the next scene, if that's okay.
Sure.
So first things first, guys. Do we want to spend the extra 200,000 credits in the group loot to get that item that makes the security system shock us or harm us less?
I thought it was 25 credit. 25,000.
25,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
only 25,000? Are we up for that? So it'll be 325,000?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm down for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I deducted it. Let's go.
And Squee, while you're doing your stuff with Burn and Piffy, I just found a few other minor things. If you just want to say yes or no, and we don't have to, fucking do anything special about this, so we don't waste too much time. Can of medical knockout spray.
It's certainly something you could find, yes.
Sure, great. Virtual reality helmet.
Yes. You can find it. However, it's going to have a 20% markup on it because it's there.
Great. All right, no problem. I will up the price. I'll make a note right now. 20% increase. Half a dozen virtual reality movies. I'm assuming same thing.
Bootleg or regular?
Regular.
Okay, then yeah, same thing.
Okay, and then this is the only other thing, because there is a Naruni Enterprise thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping for N20 medium force field. Both a personal shield that is straps that I can wear across myself and one integrated into my light armor.
Okay.
I know they have to run on Eclipse still, but I'm just wondering the availability on those.
The availability is...
the medium force fields are like 75 MD.
Okay, the medium force field 75 MD, they are certainly available. What's the price that lists in the book?
For version A, which is the personal shield with the straps, it's 50,000 listed. The one integrated in the armor is 65,000.
Okay. They are available. They are items that Narune is selective about because they're higher end items. However, they're willing to sell it to you. But because you are not known to the Narune, you're basically a stranger walking off the street, there is going to be a substantial markup for them.
Okay, which is?
So it's going to be... let's say, it's going to be double. So it's going to be 100,000 and then 130,000.
Okay, 100,000.
And that would include installation into your light armor.
Great. Well, that's good.
But they will say that such fields will have to be installed and delivered to your ship because they still fall underneath the ban.
And then 6 fully charged Eclipse.
Okay.
That's the last thing. Oh, how much would those be?
Hang on, I have to pull out. They're the book list. I just haven't seen Eclipse in a long time. We'll keep it simple. We'll say 1,000 per Eclipse.
Yeah, that is the correct
because I
number.
think that's about average.
Yeah.
Groovy. Awesome. That's it for me, guy. I will do the rest of the math and add this shit on myself. Groovy.
All right. Before we continue, I did almost forget there is one small minor roleplay that we should do, which is the gear. First, I should say that all of your gear that I said is to be delivered to your ship is delivered to your ship on time and in proper quality. Lucas, your items are, still untouched and sealed, so untampered with. Your armor is imbued, both Isaac and Xavier. All your items arrive. The horse merchant and his helpers come and pimp out your ride.
Sweet.
To where your horse does look very, very lifelike. And they install the automatic AI. And when they're done, they say, you should be the one to fire it up. He should probably see you first.
Okay, I'll activator switch in its mouth and then back up.
It'll neigh a little bit and stamp its feet and look up and then say, "Hello,
Hello.
who are you?"
I'm Isaac.
Huh. Well, Isaac, I'm Jack, and I'm a horse. And he starts looking around at himself, I think.
First off, I used to call you Quicksilver, but I guess you're Jack now.
Ooh, Quicksilver.
Yeah.
That's a cool name. Hi, my name's Quicksilver, and I'm a horse. I think.
Yes, you're a horse. You're a robot horse. You don't have any
Oh,
special upgrades.
That's why.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that.
You won't need to
Um,
eat, sleep, or anything like that.
Am I your horse?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Are you?
Hold on.
Mhm.
Apparently, I'm streaming at 0 kilobits per second.
A gasp. Quicksilver says.
Don't
What
be
is
so
streaming?
Quicksilver.
What is this thing?
Don't be an asshole.
All right,
be a
it's
dick.
back up to 2,000. Whee!
Yay!
Man. All right, so you're a horse. You're a robot horse.
Yes. So I'm your horse.
Yeah.
Good owner.
Yeah.
No, I'm a shitty
Okay.
owner.
Well, you understand. I mean, it's important to determine these things so that I know whether or not I'm supposed to rebel against you, right?
Yes, I'm a good owner.
Okay. Great.
You and I are from Earth. You are originally from Earth. Right now, we are not on Earth. We are on Center.
Huh? He says, looking around. Say, Isaac,
Yes.
what am I supposed to do here? He kind of stamps his paw.
You're my vehicle. I read you to places.
Right. And he just looks at you.
Is that do you want to do something?
You want to go for a ride?
I can't,
Oh.
cause you're an MDC vehicle, and they're outlawed.
No, it's okay. I understand. Should I just go wait on the ship then until you need me?
Yeah. If you
Isaac,
can.
your horse is talking to you.
Yeah. It's a new thing. New thing I got. It's got an AI core.
He looks at Lucas. Hi, my name's Quicksilver. I'm a horse, I think.
Hi, I'm Lucas. I'm a human, I think.
And he just walks past you up to the ship.
Say hello to Applepalooza.
Who's Applepalooza?
It's the other, I don't think he has an AI core, but
You hear like an echo. What's an AI core? As it walks away.
Oh God.
And that's
you know,
that.
I don't regret it a bit. Yeah.
uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
My stream.
Can't tell that sarcasm.
My internet is not doing well.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it's not you. It's YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah. Cause
Stinks, but
it goes from 0 up to 3K and then back down to 0. Then right now it's hovering about 3K, going up to 5K, and back
is your
down to
internet
2.
working? Is your internet working okay?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's probably YouTube. I mean, honestly, if it was you, you'd have trouble opening up Windows and all kinds of things.
Here, let me. Yeah, Squeezed layer boots up fine. So.
So it's just YouTube being a butt. It happens.
Okay. I guess I'll just start recording from here.
Sure.
Yeah. Just in case, because I can pull up what we have, or pull down what we have right now.
Great.
All right. So yeah. Are we good to move on?
Yes.
I believe so.
Okay. So you are all fully healed. Both of you who had your cyber implants.
Hooray!
Hey,
My face doesn't hurt.
and I don't have splitting headaches.
And your paperwork has come in, Xavier.
Awesome.
Basically, everyone's good to go.
Welcome,
So we're going to
Beast.
say this is. We're going to kind of fast forward to one day before you're supposed to arrive at the Great Hunt. Now, you were told to arrive at a certain spot, and you will know by now that this is actually on the first floor in the manor.
Okay. So it's a manor. Neat.
Well, no, the manor is the name of the level 1 where all the rich people live.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
It's okay.
Okay. We go to there. Got nothing. All right.
All right. You go to first. You go through the gate area, and you go up to what looks like very large metal detectors with a blue shield, like a blue transparent shield. And you go up to some of the guards there,
Okay.
and they say, "Pass."
You forgot the
We
bag.
are special guests of. And did Pa tell us what to do? You gave us vague instructions.
Right.
before,
We just
Squee.
present a coin. That's it.
Yeah, you're supposed
okay.
to go. Well, you're supposed to go to an area, a building inside the manor, and present your coin.
Yeah. Okay. You have to excuse us, Xavier would say. We have business inside, although we weren't informed of any sort of special pass that's required. How do we get one?
Well, you're usually invited. And who did you say you had business with?
I dropped the name of Fancy Face McGee. What's his name? You know, the guy who owns everything and you don't...
Yes. Oh God, now I have to remember his name. Hang on. As I should, given that I'm the GM and I.
You are God, yeah.
Yes.
Can God
his
create a name that he
is-
can't remember? Thraxus. Oh, Thraxus. Or at least his people.
They go, okay, well, Thraxus has many dealings.
Mhm.
You said your name was
Phil Buckley.
Phil Buckley. Okay. I'm going to contact one of his secretaries. Is there anything you'd like to say that might make them recognize who you are? As I said, Thraxus has many contacts.
Xavier will pause, look to his friends, and say, "Tell them, we think that the hunting will be really good this year."
He goes, okay. And then he gets on the headset. Hey, Sarah. Yeah, hey, it's Mike at the gate. I've got some people in here saying that they're coming to see Thraxus. Yeah, does he have anything scheduled for... No? Okay. Well, they said that the hunting would be good this year. I'm not sure if that... Alright, I'll hold. And then, there's an uncomfortable wait as he kind of taps his foot.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a few
Xavier will
minutes,
stare at him for his play on his holographic computer. Little Spanish flea will play. For 2 seconds.
After a few minutes, he stops tapping his foot and goes, "Huh, Sarah? What?" Well, Sarah, that's not really protocol. Well, okay, for you. All right. And then he hangs up and he says, "Look, not really sure what's going on here. I'm gonna let you through.
Great, thank you.
Don't cause any trouble.
Wouldn't think of it.
And make sure you get all the business done here you need to get done before you leave, because after I go, they're probably not going to let you back in."
Unless they supply us with a pass when we're inside.
He nods. Well, yes, of course. Yes.
Great. Well, I want to thank you very much for your flexibility in this, and I'm sure Thraxus and his associates are appreciative of the bang-up job you're doing.
He gives you like this.
Xavier will give a charming smile, should I say, Phil.
He gives this like bemused, disbelieving look and just kind of says, "Right."
Xavier wants to take a look at that scanning device, and is that something that he'd be familiar with?
Yes.
Okay.
It is top of the line. Probably the best model you've ever seen.
Mm.
It's a biometric scanner
Mhm.
and a specific part scanner, meaning that it's not necessarily looking for metal or alloys. It's looking for mega damaged material, and it's looking for things like nuclear fusion cores.
Gotcha.
And all that would pass right through. Anything that has a punch to it, it would pick up.
So it would pick up cybernetics, specifically bionics?
Yes, it would pick that up.
Okay.
Question.
Mhm.
Would it pick up stun guns?
No.
Okay.
Or at least
Okay. Because...
there's a big difference between a nuclear fusion core or a plasma core and a stun gun.
Okay. Alright. I'm good.
Alright. He motions for you all to pass through.
Great. Will do.
Lucas picks up his guitar case and lumbers in, waving to the nice gentleman, clanking his little wrist thing against his arm.
Does your guitar case have anything mega damage inside it? mega
It
damage
has
capable.
all SDC stuff.
Okay. Yes, make it. You pass through the gate. When Talavac and Xavier pass through the gate, there is a little chiming sound, but no one stops you or questions you.
Yeah.
And
Are you sure they're not going to question me because I have 6 guns on me?
you have SDC guns, yes?
Yes.
Okay. No, they're not going to.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
It might give some context. When you look around everywhere, you see guards standing in mega damage equipment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's like walking into a tank factory with a Magnum. The tank's not going to give a shit.
The second you walk through the gate, it's like walking to another world. You walk into a land of pure paradise. There are fountains every 100 feet or so. There's a sweet scent in the air, as if someone sprayed the entire level with Febreze.
Febreze, that was your description. There are things that smell so much better than Febreze. Fresh flowers, baked pies.
There were cutbacks. Okay.
Sponsored
Fucking-
by.
Febreze is a fresh but chemical smell.
Okay, fine. It was the baked pie variety of Febreze.
Okay. I'll take it halfway.
Lemon edge everywhere.
Smells girly in here.
Back to the point, though. It's very clean. It's very neat. The air actually does, and to the point is, not only does it have a nice scent, it feels crisp. It almost feels like fresh autumn wind without the cold. Very clean is the only real sensation I can express. There are a myriad of groundskeepers that are continuously keeping the grass in the parks and the beautiful displays of flowers, and there are towering silver buildings that rise hundreds of feet into the air and are just spectacular sights to behold. The traffic in the manor is actually rather light. There are people walking to and fro, but compared to the rest of the mill of Center, after a week in one of the largest cities in the galaxy, you feel almost like you're alone.
Gotcha.
I can get used to this.
Yeah, it's not half bad, Xavier says as he punches in the address to where they need to go. We might have to ask someone where this is. This seems pretty big, and we don't have a ton of time. We're only about a day early.
Yeah.
Xavier will flag down one of the custodial staff and ask for directions.
The custodial staff member will look up, and it is... I'm sorry, give me 1 second.
He's down on his luck.
No, it
He
is actually...
tentacles.
It's a Choje. One of the race of the people that was... The short, kind of fat, pink, jolly looking. He looks up at you and he says, "Hello."
Hello. Xavier will say, "Don't mean to bother you, but this is our first time here on this level. I was wondering if you could point us in the direction of," and he gives the coordinates. or he gives the name of the building or whatever we were given by Paul.
Oh, well, absolutely. Just follow the street down to where you see those that red cicadas over there.
Yep.
Okay, you take take a left at those red cicadas and
Okay.
keep going about half a mile until you reach the Constance, which are coming in
Oh, wow.
beautifully this year.
Right.
So
Wow.
once you reach the Constance, you're going to go into that building
Uh-huh.
and then go straight past the Flunklands,
Uh-huh.
and then it'll be the second door on the right, red door.
Gotcha. Out of curiosity, are there any sort of means of conveyance, taxis, hover vehicles? Walking half a mile, and even more so, is quite a distance, wouldn't you think?
Oh, well, sure, sir. Obviously, we'll contact your benefactor and simply have them pick you up, I'm sure.
And let's assume that we don't have a benefactor. Is there any sort of private companies here that operate transport?
I'm sorry, who doesn't have a benefactor?
Well, we have a benefactor, but this is kind of a first meeting.
Ah, then I don't think there's anything in what you're looking for, sir. I apologize immensely.
All right, Xavier says
Yep.
as he purses his lips. Guess we're in for a walk.
Yeah.
Follow the instructions.
I'll stretch a little bit.
All right. You take a right at those flowers, and then a left at these flowers, and you surprisingly enough, the instructions he gave were fairly simple to follow, and you, in short order, arrive inside a large building that is one of the less grandiose buildings. Compared to an average building, this thing is fantastic and splendid, but compared to the buildings around it, it's actually rather nondescript. And you enter in it and follow down its silver-lined halls. The walls, the floor, the ceiling all look to be a polished marble, and a silver marble. And you get to a wide, tall red door, which almost seems out of place amongst all the silver marble.
Is it like the Jurassic Park door?
Maybe not.
Believe it or not, almost that
Almost
big.
that big. Okay.
Almost that big.
Xavier, at the foot of this door, will look back at his companions and say, "So, who has the coin?"
I don't. I thought you have it.
And Xavier will rumble around his pockets and say, "Oh yeah, here it is." And he'll give it a little flick in the air.
Uh-huh.
What? Were you worried for a moment, Lucas? Xavier will say.
We would have to walk all the way back to get our coin, and then there's that dude that's going to be all snobby at us, going, "You got it, guys."
Xavier is going to give a smile, and you'll see a flick of his hand, and he'll look to the ground, and he'll say, "Oh, shit, I dropped it." Wait a second, and he'll point over to Lucas. "You had the coin all along. It's right behind your ear." As he palmed the coin and then unpalmed it. That was what the D100 roll was for a palming check.
Which, may I point out, everyone, he successfully does it, which is an amazing feat given that this coin is about 4 inches
Yeah.
wide.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I forgot how big it was.
He did the check, so
Yeah, it's
bravo.
I succeeded by 7, so yay. There it is. You gotta clean your ears more often there, Lucas.
Yeah, and shake out some more coins like that.
Mm-hmm.
I go treasure diving every day.
Gross. Okay, Xavier will give a pleasant a heavy knock on the door.
All right. For a few minutes, there is no response. And then, as the minutes kind of go by, you do see people passing to and fro, all on some sort of business. And then,
just enter.
well, you would push on the door, but it doesn't move.
Oh.
After a few minutes, though, standing by the door, one aide or whoever is passing by with an armful of scrolls, real paper scrolls, stops and goes, "Oh, Oh, are you here for the event that must not be named? He says and kind of shakes his head like, whoa.
Xavier flashes the coin. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Well, we don't technically start till tomorrow, but we do have orders to let anyone in that has one of those coins. And he
Great.
puts the scrolls down and he kind of takes out a palm pad. He says, if you could, and he holds the it looks like an iPad almost, but he holds it out flat. He says, could you place the coin on here?
Xavier will do so.
And there's like the pad turns green and there's a click and he goes, thank you, you can have the coin back now.
Great. Xavier will take it back.
And he says, Pa, oh, Pa hasn't sent us an A1 in quite a few years.
Yeah, we're special.
Yes,
In
yes,
the
yes,
head.
yes. Aren't you all?
Mhm.
Well,
No, we're more special than they are.
he
Xavier
says as
will
he's like
smile.
tapping on the monitor, he says, well,
No. Xavier will put his hand on the tablet in a reassuring way until he looks at him. We're more special than the rest of them.
Lucas gives him a wide-eyed, like, circular nod.
he looks back and forth and says, yes, roll me a convince check.
I told you.
Who?
We are. Oh my
Oh God!
Seriously,
By like
we
30
are
pounds.
really special.
He he considers you guys for a while and he says, you know, I hear that all the time,
Mhm.
but I don't hear it from Pa's recruits. All right. I guess we'll see.
So
The
although
door.
things aren't going to be happening for a day, is there anything that we can talk to get some general information about, or is everything going to be revealed on the first day?
I am sorry, but if I were to give you information, it would be unfair to our other guests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
Xavier.
Well, I'm not saying you have to give us information.
Oh, well then, I suppose it's always possible, but I wouldn't know where to even start.
Okay, that's fine.
As far as I understand, Mr. Thraxis is the one that devises the hunts, and unless you are intimately familiar with him, he kind of shrugs.
Then, may I ask one question about the procedure? Will we be having individual meetings with Thraxis, or are all these hunters going to be meeting together in one place?
Well, a little bit of both, if I remember correctly.
Mm,
Usually, there is a step or two that's designed to weed out the ones that should be weeded out, if you know what I mean. And after those few steps, I do believe that Thraxis does meet the other participants that are left individually.
wonderful.
In
Okay.
fact, if you get far enough along, there might be quite a few interested in talking to you.
I see. Thank you.
Of course. Um, do know the rules are as followed. Because obviously we don't want anyone else getting unfair information. Once you enter the room, you are of course required to stay in there until the event starts. There is of course food, water, drink, and everything that you could need in there.
Mhm.
In case of an emergency, there is red buttons on the walls you can press for medical help.
I see. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Xavier will not enter inside, though, but he will wait for this fellow to leave, or for his companions to say anything to them. But Xavier has something to say to the rest of you guys once this guy's ears are out of range.
I will say, however, that he just kind of stands there looking at you politely.
We're not ready. Well, you said we have to wait. Don't enter into the room until we're ready. We're just going to get
Yes.
ready.
I did say that, but I also can't close the door until you do.
Then I
I can
guess you'll be
stand
waiting
over
here for a while then, as Xavier says, as
He said-
the rest of them will step back.
He says, I can back up a little bit if you need to speak to your friends, but I am quite busy.
Well, how about this? How about we do the backing up then, Xavier says, as he corrals his friends a good 100 feet away.
As you do that, you just hear from back there. You will be brisk, yes?
Maybe, Xavier says. Depends on what we're going to talk about. Xavier will say, the very fact that we might be meeting some of our competitors is not a good thing. I suggest before we get our asses in there, we find something to cover our faces so they can't determine our identity. And if there's any way to hide or wrap your tail around something,
I don't have a tail.
oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
But something we need clothes that will cover us from head to foot, and we need something to cover our faces like masks.
Well-
Lucas pulls up his hood.
No, we'll need something a little bit more. I mean, I think only our eyes should show.
I have that covered, and I get my ninja mask and pull it over my face.
Perfect. That's perfect. We need more than those. I know I can change my face, but if we're going to work as a team, it would make sense for all of us to have masks like that. I say we go buy something like that, or at least something similar to that before we get in there.
And then put the sunglasses on over it, so I am covered.
Perfect.
I'm like, okay. Now it's just you guys. Well, you guy and Isaac.
He's gone. He's gone to feed his cats.
It's Kitty.
His kitties. I'm assuming he can hear us, but he can't probably talk to us. So.
I forgot he did that.
Yeah.
I will let you guys know as players there are no stores in the manor, just residences and businesses.
We'll leave this level.
Okay.
Like I said, this guy, he can wait by the door as long as he wants. Or he can just close it, and he gave us our coin back. He can just close it and wait for someone else to let us in. But we're going to leave it up to him because I want to just leave.
Interesting.
Yep.
So, we're not gonna get locked in? We're gonna just leave?
No, we're not inside. We're not inside the complex yet. Did you overhear our conversation there, Bern?
I wasn't able to.
Getting ninja mask? Okay. Xavier suggested that we all get masks similar to Talavax that cover our faces completely with the exception of the eyes. Only because there is a very good chance, if not a guaranteed chance, we're going to be meeting our competitors. We don't want them to know our identities. We don't want them to be able to pick us out of a crowd, you know? I think secrecy is probably our biggest ally to prevent anyone fucking with us.
I have some things that I can put on to mask my identity.
Wouldn't it make more sense that we all have the same item?
It's just not something. It just doesn't fit the style of my character.
Okay, Xavier will say with a bit of a smile. Do you think for the sake of protecting our identities, you could just, I don't know, go along with it for an hour or two? You don't have to wear it for the entire time, just for the sake of this meeting. Once we're back aboard our ship and we get this thing underway, then we take off the fucking masks, because then they don't know what we look like anymore, do they?
The only thing they'll be able to see is my hair color.
So what magical thing are you going to do to cover your face?
Yeah, what magic?
Yeah, you tell him, Lucas.
Isaac will just stare at Lucas for a bit. I have sunglasses.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
So that covers my eyes.
Uh-huh.
And I have a face mask rebreather. Excuse me.
So you're telling me...
Which covers from my nose down to the bottom of my neck.
So you're telling me your style is to wear sunglasses and a rebreather rather than a black hood?
Yes.
Xavier will pause for a moment.
He's got style.
Well, that whole it's not with the style of my character was out of character, but that's fine. Do you really have a problem with it?
look at it this way,
Xavier will
Xavier.
pause for a moment, and he'll say, our competitors are going to be some of the most ruthless, success-driven criminals in the entire 3 galaxies. I don't think it's best to cut corners. Do you?
Look, I'm not gonna wear the damn mask.
Then I guess there's no point of us wearing it, because if they can ID you, they can ID the rest of us. But I'm going to tell you this, Isaac Redfield. The second we get jumped, I'm blaming you.
Do we all need to be a part of this meeting?
Yes, I'm assuming so.
Did you ask?
Because we have to be as a team.
Yeah, it might be important.
Well, out of character, I'm not comfortable with doing it.
That's fine. You don't have to.
Yeah.
We can just resolve it in character. I'm not going to force your character to do shit, dude. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd kind of speak up and say, look, we're in this business. There might be some things that we might not want to do, but we're going to have to do them for the betterment of the group.
Mm-hmm. And if
that's
you
all I
have a
gotta
better
say.
idea to make sure these guys don't know who we are before we meet them face to face, I'm all ears.
I also have another question. Why is this such a big issue? Why can't we just get some masks and go in there? What is the big deal?
Xavier will look to Isaac.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't understand what kind of, I don't even know what to call it.
Mm-hmm. Are you claustrophobic, Isaac asks. Seriously. I mean, sorry, are you claustrophobic, Xavier asks. Seriously, like not with sarcasm.
No, I just don't want to wear the fucking mask.
Why not?
Because I don't want to wear it.
Okay, let's meet him in halfway here. We
I-
need to get a
I-
disguise.
I'm not saying that I'm not going to fucking conceal myself. I said that I would. But I just don't want to wear it.
No, that's what I mean. I'm like, you don't want to wear the mask, okay. But we got to find another way to completely conceal you totally from the your face. And
The only thing they'll be able to see is my hair.
That might be enough.
That's what I said in the very beginning.
No, I mean, that might be enough to ID you.
you could always put it up, can't you?
Yeah.
Or cover it
Well,
in some,
okay.
some hat.
Okay,
Yeah,
now we're working.
I was planning on wearing a hat.
Mm-hmm. So, cover up his eyes, cover up his mouth, hair up, hat on. I wouldn't be able to tell him out.
Sure.
And these guys here, I mean, look, we have to come to some sort of agreement here.
Sure.
Mhm.
For the sake of moving things along, Xavier says, I'm willing to do that. But he looks to Isaac and say, because I don't want to isn't a reason, Isaac. It's what a child says. Come on. Let's get ready for this.
I'm going dress as a ninja.
As an engine?
Ninja.
Oh, okay, a ninja. I'm like, wow, that is racist.
Yeah, I was like, I went to a racist place.
What the heck is like the engine? Like a
Indian.
like a oh
Yeah.
Indian. What?
Yeah, I thought you said like engine.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
really
Engine's a
stupid.
derogatory term, like cracker.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you. If anything, I would think like car engine.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why my mind went there. I must be a bad person.
Okay. All right, so we'll get 3 masks then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a full getup.
Awesome. Oh, do it. Do it. Whatever makes you happy, Lucas.
Squee, full ninja outfit.
Full ninja outfit. Okay, you guys are gonna have to leave the
Yep.
manor.
Mm-hmm.
So if you leave the manor, you can certainly find what you're looking for. Just go to
Awesome.
the open market.
I'm glad we showed up a day early.
A full ninja mask. I mean, a full ninja outfit. Maybe 100 credits just for the mask. Maybe 15 credits.
Xavier pauses for a moment and says, "You know what? It might be able to ID us by the clothes too. I'm gonna get a full ninja thing with. I'm gonna be ninja buddies with Lucas."
It's gonna be great.
Makes a good point. If it's billowy enough, I might even kind of mask at least a little bit, even the body type. It's actually very clever. So I'll burn 100 of my personal credits for that.
Oh, I probably shouldn't bring the guitar case then. If I didn't want to be ID'd.
Yeah, that's good thinking.
What
Yeah,
if
because
we
nobody plays those.
give me 1 second? What's an ID?
Like identification. Like they could
Okay,
pick you
so
out of a
it's-
crowd.
They can't see ninjas. Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Just realizing that going along with this is going to be so much easier.
Exactly. Don't fight it. Don't fight it.
I know what Lucas is like. 897 credits.
All right. Talvik, are you buying just a mask or a full blown ninja?
I already have it.
Yeah, he
Oh.
already has a full-blown
Yeah.
ninja.
Yeah.
Well then. All right.
It's going to be 3 ninjas and a cowboy, and a masked cowboy.
Oh my God, it's cowboys and ninjas. That's not a game,
Yeah.
but it totally should be.
No.
Okay. So you guys, you'd purchase that. You'd still have, let's say the evening,
Great.
and then we'll say like you're supposed to be there at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Okay. Well, we can rest
Yeah.
either on the ship, or we can rest at the manor. The manor
Mhm.
might be more comfortable if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although, if we want to keep up our IDs, it's probably best for us to show up looking like this, rather than wearing it the entire time while in there. You know what I mean? It gives us a little bit more freedom to be ourselves. So how about we
Okay.
just make sure we get there for 10 o'clock on the dot, or even a few minutes early?
All right. So we're going back to the ship.
I think so. That's
Okay.
my vote. That's my suggestion.
Oh, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, I
For
guess
you,
that's my
Lucas?
cue. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's it.
You guys would go back to the ship. When you get back to the ship, you would see Hart and Seamus tired, but actually no, you'd see them in the kitchen. Seamus would be asleep on the table, or
Oh.
like slumped over the table, and Hart would be asleep on the stove.
On the stove?
It's not
Like on the
turned
burner?
on, but yes, curled up like a little kitten, actually.
Oh boy.
I just shake my head and point and just look at this.
Yeah, I know.
And from all intents and purposes, there's no loose wires anywhere. There's no box of tools hanging out, so it does not look like they're still working on things.
Okay.
Xavier will go over to Seamus and kind of give him a bit of a nudge to wake up.
Oh, what?
You
Hey,
might be
buddy.
You might be more comfortable in your quarters.
Oh, right. We finished the modifications, so I think
Thank
we
you.
just.
Well, you deserve a well-deserved rest then.
Right. Hard. And he goes over and tugs on one of our ponytails, and Hart pops up. Who? What? Oh. Hi.
Hi.
We're done.
Seamus told us. But maybe you'd be more comfortable sleeping in your own bed instead of on top of the stove?
She yawns and she goes, "Okay," and then lays back down.
You know what? I gave her a shot.
Why deny someone that comfort? Oh well.
When she wakes up with an element indentation on her face, that's her own fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seamus sighs and picks her up and says, "I'll carry her to the room."
Okay.
How
Well-
gentlemanly.
My character is gonna go and crash out in his quarters.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep in my own room.
Yeah. My eyes are probably killing me right now.
Oh, you mean your bionic eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, you have 2 of them too. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, Squee, quick question.
Uh-huh.
For the other item that I got, other
Yes.
than the shurikens,
Yes.
um, is it just 10 outfits, or is it
You can
I can have
interchange them. It's just at once.
okay, just strictly just 10.
Well, okay, maybe I misunderstood the question. Do you mean 10, like 10
I
plus what you're wearing, or?
no, it's as in, is it like only 10 outfits or 10 outfit 10 SDC specifically, like do um does it matter if they're
Oh,
armored or not, or
it can be. Like I said before, I think it's only one of your outfits can be SDC. Otherwise, well, no, there's no logical reason for that. If it's not bulky and it's not a huge body armor or something, it can count.
okay, but it's still only 10 slots.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Great. I'm willing to speed things up until the next morning if you guys are.
I'm good to go.
Okay. Is it safe to kind of zoom ahead to back at the gate? Like you would all be dressed
Uh-huh.
as appropriately
Ninjas?
as ninjas and cowboys.
Yeah.
I would give Xavier would give one last suggestion of advice to his friends, and suggest that when we're in there, make sure nobody, it doesn't matter who they are, make sure no one touches us, because they might try to put a tracker on us or something like that.
Got it.
So, regardless of how rude it might be, with the exception of perhaps the head honcho, I don't even think we should shake hands.
Nope. No contact.
hmm You never know. You gotta be super careful with this shit.
All
Okay,
right.
Be
but
silent
other than that,
as
I'm
the
ready to
wind.
go in.
You will actually see Lucas is also painted through the icelet with
Oh,
his black
nice.
makeup more black, so it's very much just his eyes.
That's spooky.
All right. You guys walk up to the gate, and there is a guard there that is not the same one from yesterday. And he goes, "Pass."
I present the coin.
He looks at the coin, looks at you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that some sort of joke?
What?
I asked for your pass. I'm not sure what you're holding. It looks very nice, sir, but I really need to see your pass.
Oh, Xavier says, realizing he made a big fucking mistake.
Wait, I missed something.
We have to get a pass to get into this level. The first guy said, I'm going to let you in, but I'm not going to be here next time, so I hope you got all your business done or you get a pass, because the next guy might not be so forgiving. So Xavier can't even smile because he's underneath the mask. He goes, we don't have a mask, but that coin signifies that we have business with, I'm sorry, Squee, I'm going to write it down.
Okay.
What's his name?
Thraxis.
Thraxis. We have very important business with Thraxis. And if you if you contact his establishment, he can confirm that holders of this coin should be permitted through.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second, sir.
Awesome. Thank you.
And he touches his ear, just like the last guy, and says,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, Bob. Some guys out here with I don't know, a big, what is that? Is that gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, big gold coin.
Mm-hmm.
Saying they've got business with Thraxis. That ring a bell to you at all?
Also mentioned something about hunting too to him.
And hunting. They like hunting.
Mm-hmm. We really like hunting.
Okay, I'll hold. And it's a few minutes, and then
I'm
he
not gonna
comes
play
back.
Little Speeders Flee. Don't worry.
Yeah, and he comes back and he goes, "Uh-huh. Yeah, that's not part of the policy." "Yeah, well, I don't give a damn, Bob. It's my job on the line." "Yeah, well, you can go suck one too." Click. "I'm sorry, sir, but I'm really going to need to see a pass."
What seems to be the matter?
I have something that I want to do in character.
Okay.
Isaac will slowly lean in, so he's about an inch away from Xavier's face, and kind of mutter, "You know, it doesn't matter what we look like if we can't get in, does it?" And he will
Do you have
slowly
a solution
lean back.
for this? Do you have a solution for this, or just a smart-ass reply? Xavier asks.
No comment.
Okay. Who did you call? Xavier asks. What was the contact? What was his name?
His name's Bob.
Okay, great. And what's your name?
Guard.
Okay, guard. Is there anyone else that you can contact in there? It sounded like you had a disagreement with him. What was it about?
Yeah. Let's put it this way. There's a policy, a written policy that we follow. If we follow the policy, we keep our jobs. If we don't follow the policy, we don't keep our jobs. And I know that you've got a big shiny coin that says that you have very important business with Thraxis.
Oh, extremely.
But I have a big shiny gun that says I need to keep people that don't have a pass outside of the manor.
Okay, so you know who Thraxis is, right?
He gives you like that really look.
Exactly. So what do you think Thraxis is going to do to the lowly guard with the shiny gun if he doesn't let him in? I'm thinking you keeping your job should be the least of your fucking worries. So now you call someone other than dumbass Bob who knows what the fuck they're doing so you can get your precious confirmation so we can get in and do our goddamn business. Roll.
Yes, I'm gonna need a roll. Give me a. You were pretty convincing. I was gonna make this a lot harder. Give me just a minus 15.
So make it harder by 15?
Make it harder by 15.
Add 15 to my roll.
Yes.
I still succeed.
There is absolutely no change in his visual demeanor. And he says, "Sir, I'm going to need you to take a step back, please."
Xavier will do so for a moment.
And then he'll turn around, and as he touches his ear, you're going to hear him say to another guard, "Believe this guy?" "Oh, no, I don't want to. Look, it's Thraxis, all right?" "Yeah. Hey, Bob. There's no chance Sarah's there, is she?" "No, of course not. There wouldn't be, would there?" And he looks at you and he holds up a finger with like a very sarcastic like smile, like, "Yeah, just 1 second."
Just fix his eyes at him.
"Look, Bob, this guy's being a hard ass. He's riding my dick, all right? Look, there's a policy we follow. Maybe," and then you actually hear through the ear, "Screw your policy." And then you after a second you hear, "I don't think that's really appropriate, Bob." "Fine, okay, I get it." Click. "If you would please just pass through. Make sure you have a pass when you leave."
Will do, Xavier says.
Now you
Thank
see,
you.
was that so hard?
Not gonna say anything. Don't want to antagonize him further. He does have a big shiny gun. After all.
Lucas is going to clasp his hands together, give him a deep bow, and settle in.
There we go. Way to ninja it up.
So I got this joke. 3
Uh-huh.
ninjas and a cowboy walk into the manor.
Yeah.
One of them has a coin.
And no passes.
Nope.
And-
We don't need no
Uh,
stinking passes.
Oh, badges?
You got a silver tongue, which
Badges?
sometimes works just as well.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. I got a silver pass right in my fucking mouth, bitch.
Is it
Whew.
safe to say you follow the same directions
Yes.
back? All right. This time, when you arrive at the door, it's shut, but there is a very familiar person there, and he goes, "Oh, finally, you're here. You are almost late. They are about ready to start. Here, put it on the thing." And he holds the thing out to you.
Yep, I do.
Mhm.
And it clicks green. He's like, "Oh, thank God."
Well, we
Thought
got
we were-
harassed at the gate. Jesus. The operation, I know Thraxus knows what the hell he's doing, but whoever's out front there, jeez.
He
Incompetent.
he looks you up and down at your whole group, and then kind of leans in and says, "Are you really surprised?
Kind of, yeah.
You're wearing pajamas."
This is a company uniform. Xavier.
Isaac is
casual.
shaking his head back and forth.
Lucas is like wide-eyed, like death stare, nodding his head.
With his hands together in the prayer, yeah.
He looks back and forth and just kind of shakes his head, and he's like, he starts tapping on the pads like, one year we had a group show up
You
completely
said we were in a hurry.
He just
Where'd
keeps
you
talking.
go?
He just keeps talking completely in the nude. In the nude, I tell you. And then the doors start to open. He's like, "Go, go."
We're going.
Come on, shout ahead.
He gives Isaac his cowboy getup, the only person he could recognize, by the way, having only seen him before, the outfit before, gives
Yeah.
him a thumbs up.
Well, even then, Isaac's fucking tall.
Yeah, right.
No matter
But he
what, he's
gives
gonna be
him
recognized.
He gives him a thumbs up as the doors close.
And Isaac will return the thumbs up.
The doors shut, and when the doors opened, you heard talking and lots of chatter and murmuring. And as the doors shut, there's complete silence. And the room, which is a large white circular room, everything is brilliantly white. There are white chairs everywhere, white pillars holding up the roof. The roof itself seems to be illuminated with some sort of white light. And in the front, at the very end of the room, is a white dais that looks like it's been carved out of a marble slab. There are over 100 people in this room, and at this point in time, every single one of them is looking at the 4 people who just walked in.
Are there empty chairs nearby?
There are a few, however, there are not 4 seats next to each other.
It's fine.
I'll blend into the shadows.
You do that, Lucas, Xavier says.
Like,
And although he gives his habitual smile, it's underneath a silk black mask, so no one can see it. As he doesn't make any qualms about the attention put upon him, and he simply finds an empty seat.
Right. Well, actually, I should ask, what are the... Okay, Lucas is hiding in the non-existent shadows.
yes.
I'm not quite sure what that looks like.
He's plastered against the wall, black on white.
I am invisible.
Xavier is sitting down. What is Talavac and Isaac doing?
Are there any more seats or no?
There are seats, but not near Xavier.
Ah, crap. How far from Xavier?
Oh, several rows. Basically, it's like a movie theater when you got to the movie at the end, where there are some sprinkled seats, but none clumped together.
I gotcha.
Mhm.
Oh well, I'll just sit down. Finally, just sit down.
I am going to just point out, because I didn't explain it earlier, I'm wearing a SDC trench coat.
Mm-hmm.
That is brown, and I also have a I can't really describe it, but it's You know when you watch 1950s noir videos?
Yes.
That kind of hat.
Got it.
Behind sunglasses, aviators.
You look like you're about to say you're gonna regret it. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow.
Yeah, but also include
Got
the
it.
sunglasses and the face mask that's covering all the way, including his neck.
Got it. And your hair is up in your hat, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I'm tempted to do this. Yeah, screw it. There is one item that he bought recently that he hasn't worn in any other outfit. It is a silver cross,
Okay.
and he's wearing it.
All right. Like around your neck, visible or
yes.
not visible?
Not visible, but they will see a silver necklace.
Got it.
I am going to try and find a seat.
Okay. As you all do what you do, take a seat, plaster yourselves against walls, like you do. The silence doesn't last for very long, as it's broken by a clear voice at the front of the room. It is a very tall individual who has long hair, and one earring, and they're dressed very lavishly, incredibly lavishly. Their hair is slicked back and combed immaculately. Their suit is bright reds and deep purples, and there's jewelry everywhere. And the man is standing at that dais that looked like it was carved out of the marble. And he says, "Can I assume we're all here now?" Yes?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Words
No one says
imply
anything.
guilt.
No one says anything. And he says, "I, if you did not already know, am Thraxis. Welcome to the 37th hunt. Now, you have all been brought here by, shall we say, your benefactors. And you've all been vetted of a kind. But there are a lot of you this year. And for the hunt to really stand and to work the way as intended, we need to cull the herd a little bit. So instead of going into a long spiel about how I'm glad you're here and look forward to the opportunity of working with you, the fact is, most of you I will never see again. So, why don't we do it this way? There is an item, a collection of items, if you were, that is illegal here on Center and pretty much anywhere. But most especially, it's illegal on Shinhan Station. And behind him, there's an image that appears. And it's an image of several different colored powders in paper sleeves. And believe it or not, Isaac,
Okay.
you recognize it.
I-
Yeah.
Okay.
Fancy that.
Well.
Isaac knows. All right.
I-
Isaac, this looks like Elementium. Now, Elementium, you know from your days, your past,
Yep.
is a magical type of drug. It is a powder that would be rolled up in paper and smoked. And when smoked, it would give you certain magical abilities for a limited time. And each color of powder represented some sort of element. Now, can you roll me... Just roll me... Okay, we're going to say that this is a knowledge check based on your background kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just not how well you remember it. Just roll me a D100 and get below 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
You remember that this was a contraband even when in your past, and it was a contraband that you had to deal with a lot. It was considered an exotic drug from the east. I mean, sorry, from the west, the deep, deep west. You're not quite sure who supplied it, but you did find lots of people colors
From the
pertaining
Spirit West.
to different elements. And like, for example, you knew blue had something to do with water, green had something to do with earth, red had something to do with fire. The basics, right? And that it's a drug, but highly illegal. And Thraxis says, your first task is to find some of this item and deliver it to me on Shinhan Station at this address. And another address pops up on the screen.
Okay.
And people begin furiously like tapping or writing or doing anything they can to get the address down. He said, it will be an interesting challenge. Good luck. Oh, right. Let's make this interesting, shall we? And he basically starts, he taps something on the pad, and behind him on the screen, a ship shows up. And the ship is gray and kind of beat up, and it's more like a hauler than anything else. The Nexus, flown by the Libertarians, really? And he looks out, really? Right. He flips to the next page. The Starluck, flown by the Starluck Enterprises. How fitting. Next, and like he goes through and shows what every single ship looks like and a good picture of what bays they're in for everyone in the room. He says, well, good luck. You've got 6 days. And then he just starts walking away.
So we get up and go?
Doors open and everyone starts filing out.
Luckily, I'm next to the door, so I'm the first one.
True.
It's
His
like
back
your
was to the
cannonball
wall. The wall was the door.
A lot of looks.
run.
Now, if they can catch me.
Right.
Listen. When we collect together outside of this compound, hopefully within earshot of everyone else, Xavier will say, we got 6 days. There's no point in absolutely rushing to our ship right now. We know it's protected, and we got a few people on the inside. All right? Besides, I have a feeling that most of the folks are going to be worried on how to try to find this drug and worrying about their own necks rather than wasting their time trying to sabotage everyone else. This is just an introductory. This isn't even the race itself, the hunt itself. I say we find a place secluded. We ditch these fucking uniforms. And then we try to hunt down this substance. Does anyone know anything about it? I must admit, it's the first I've even heard of this stuff.
I've heard of drugs and magic, but I'm not quite sure about them together.
It's out of my field.
I used to deal with this.
Oh yeah?
Do I have any?
No, you don't have any.
Yeah.
Wait.
Isaac will take a look at Lucas's stash and say no, you don't have any.
I don't have it on me.
Oh,
What
well,
do you mean
fine.
you dealt with it before, Isaac?
Yeah, the job I had before I came up here. I had to deal with certain people that used to be on this stuff.
Okay. Do you have a source? Could you find these people again?
Earth, far west. That's all I know.
Xavier ponders for a moment.
Unfortunately.
Wait, Xavier says. Who says we need to get back on this station? The robot, when he came through, he mentioned that your Earth was one of the nexus points. Maybe we can go back to where you're from, Isaac. Instead of us trying to be like everyone else who tries to hunt it here in center, you have a source.
We have a source.
Exactly. In and out from where you're from.
The problem is this source might want to kill me.
Oh,
Well, a
great.
lot of
Then we'll
people
kill him
want to kill us.
first.
A lot of people would
So
like
we
to
don't
do
even
that.
have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Mm,
I would like to visit home for a little while at least.
all right, we can do that. We have to be careful though because while we're on Earth, our ship's still gonna be here, right?
Of course.
Is that right, GM? Or are these rifts big enough for a ship to pass through?
No, the ship would still be here. It's actually, I kind of failed to mention a certain important part. The
Okay.
section with the gates not only has the gates to the manor, but this is also where all the rifts to the multiple verses exist. It is a
Oh.
giant. Here's a good way to look at it. If any of you have the Phase World book, the cover
Mhm.
is this room. It's basically rooms with rifts to other places, and one of them is a rift to Rift's Earth.
Great.
Well,
Actually, there would be several there to Rift's Earth.
Mhm.
So,
yeah, let's shit, we only have SDC stuff.
Ah, well.
We'll just have to be smart about it.
Shit, I don't have any of my All right. We have to be very careful because Earth is not to be taken lightly.
I can believe it.
I need my weapons. I'm not even talking about MDC. I don't have the normal stuff.
That's right, because you're a ninja, Xavier says.
Yeah. But I have all my stuff.
I mean, I can do with. We should also probably say that we're going to be away for a while for the.
Yeah,
people
let's
that-
go
I can
let's
take
go
care-
back to the ship first.
Okay.
But we need a
before
pass.
get-
God, we need a pass.
Yeah, we need a
What
pass.
we need,
we do need a pass.
is a way to get our stuff to Earth. We're not going to last long without our heavy gear.
You'd be surprised, I think.
Well, I
Maybe.
wouldn't be. I'd like to
Actually,
be surprised.
Isaac.
Yes.
So do I need to bring like a Gatling gun or like or should like maybe normal like normal bullet gun should work?
Can it destroy reinforced things?
If you mean like ships and armors and things,
I'm
no.
talking about MDC stuff.
You know.
Then no. If we can only bring SDC stuff, then bring what you like. It also really depends on where we end up because if we end up too far south, if we end up in the right country, if we end up too far south, we're going to be dealing with vampires.
Well, you know where we're going, right? So
I don't know where this rift is going to throw us.
Well, there are options, I'm assuming. Earth's a very big place. As long as you have a really good idea of the geographical location, we can let them do the rest, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
as advanced as this place is, to tell me that they can't drop us exactly where we need to go?
Maybe not exactly, but to the closest, I don't know, delivery point.
Well,
right?
that's what I mean. I'm talking like, yeah.
I'm sure.
Rifts
The only
and ley
question
lines
is-
are finicky things. That's the thing.
All right, first of all, it seems like we don't really want to do this. Okay? I mean, first of all,
I'm all for the idea. I don't know if everyone else is resistant to it, so be it, right? Both me and my character, first of all, out of character, I think it'd be fucking fun to go to
Oh
Rift's
yeah,
Earth.
out of character. I'm great. I'm just
Secondly,
being cautious.
But there's nothing wrong with being cautious whatsoever. I'm just thinking in character. Think about it. We got a bunch of guys who are looking for this rare illegal stuff on Center itself. I know Center is big, but I mean Xavier doesn't have that many contacts, right? I can do a streetwise check. We can do a skill check to try to find it, right? But I think ironically, the more guaranteed chance of getting it is to get it through a completely different source. You know what I mean? A completely different place, right?
Yeah.
But we will have a challenge. The first challenge is if we can get a pass, right? If we can get a pass, then we can gear up and we can let people know about our ship and we can get ready to go on here, right? If we can't get a pass for whatever reason, we have to be comfortable with going with what we got on us right now and make do with being on Rift's Earth, right? Which means, interestingly enough, I don't even know if our credits would work. They might not. But we could. It would be a fun challenge for us to kind of deal with this, you know?
Yeah.
I can.
Oh,
I was gonna say, just to clear up a few misconceptions
okay.
real quick.
Uh-huh.
Just so you know, the gates are not in the manor; they're in level 2, so you would not need a pass to get to
Oh.
them.
Oh, okay.
However, the ban on MDC damaged weapons and armor is still going to make it impossible for you to bring such things to the gates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so SDC only.
Also, your characters would know. You would just ask, or a tour guide would tell you. Believe it or not, galactic trade credits actually have an exchange rate of 5 Earth Rift universal credits for 1 galactic trade credit.
So before we go in, we could go to, like, for the lack of a better, a credit exchange.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, well, then that's perfect.
Oh, cool.
We can at least take our credits and buy at Earth what we need.
Exactly.
This
Yeah.
seems a lot more feasible now.
I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that we don't run across anything, dangerous.
We just had to be smart and careful, and besides, we're not completely useless. We got a guy who can kill things with his mind, as he points over to Isaac, and we got a guy who has crazy fucking weird-ass magic, but it's effective, as he points to Lucas.
Okay.
Besides, you're sneaky, and I'm just me.
Okay. God damn, this is dangerous. Let's go.
No risk, no
Yeah.
reward.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's make sure to exchange some credits.
Definitely.
So,
So I guess here's the big thing. Are we going to our ship first? Because if we're going to our ship first, I don't think it... Well, I'm just wondering when we should ditch our disguises, our ninja. When we're in the ship, you know what I mean? Or before we get into the ship itself.
well,
It
either
doesn't
way,
really matter.
they know our ship, so it's not going to matter. If anybody
Yeah.
has eyes on our ship, done.
Well,
Yeah.
we should get out of costume when we get into the ship because
Yeah.
we'll still be unknown.
Good point. In
Mhm.
fact, we can put back on our costume when we leave as well, alright? Yeah. Before we get into them. Either way,
Yeah.
we'll figure that out. But yeah, okay, so we'll stay in costume till we get to our ship. But I would like to do, and if anyone else is feasible of doing this, to see if we're being followed or watched. To do like a skill check or something like that. Keep our eyes out open. See if anyone's following us.
Sure, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
I would say anyone who has a let's see here. Anyone who has detect ambush would be good.
Yeah, okay, I got
Streetwise
that.
might still work. Detect concealment would work at a penalty.
I'm gonna just go with my straight detect ambush if that works for you.
Sure.
I fail by 4.
Okay. You don't see anyone following you. You're not entirely confident, but you see nothing out of the ordinary yet.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I have nothing.
You've got each other.
Yeah.
I only have prowl, so I can
Reverse prowl.
Counter prowl.
what I can do is actually kind of splinter off from the group and prowl them and see who might also be with me.
Okay. Give me.
So like you'd probably do like a prowl check and then like a spot check for lack of a better word.
A counter prowl.
Yeah, what I would do for that one, just to keep it simple, is I'll just make you prowl at a penalty to kind of combine those two into one. So just prowl minus 10.
Okay.
Because I kind of see what you're going for here, and it makes sense.
I succeed by 22.
Yes, you do.
Wow.
You are quite confident that no one is following you guys individual. You do see a few of the people that were in that room, but they don't seem to be following you. They seem to be going towards
The
the
market?
bays.
Okay, the base.
No, the bays.
I would like to make a streetwise check.
Okay.
What's the penalty?
No. I would say no. Well, streetwise. No, I'd say no penalty. Because I think someone who's streetwise would kind of know the ins and outs of this kind of thing.
Oh,
Failed by 27.
man.
You don't see anyone.
Okay. All right, so we get to the ship.
I assume you go inside in your costumes. At which point there's a heart in the cargo bay saying, "So how'd it go?"
Fine, although we're going to be gone for just a little while. The ship will stay here. You guys should stay here. Don't trust anyone who isn't us, obviously. Assume saboteurs are going to be at work, but we have to acquire something before we can return.
Yeah.
Heart says, "Wait, so you're not going to be here?"
No, we have to go further into center and grab something, but we might be gone for a day or two.
Okay, and do you say to expect saboteurs? Like
Yes.
people that might want to hurt us?
Possibly, yes.
That's safe to assume, yeah.
Right.
Don't you worry. I'm gonna put the best guard detail that you've ever done seen.
She shakes her head. She goes, "That's not necessary. We can just go somewhere else. If they want to come to the ship, the ship's ready for them. But we're not ready for them," she says, pointing to herself. "We could just lay low in a hotel somewhere until you get back."
Yeah,
Or you can just stay on the ship if you want.
Well, yeah, but you said they're coming for the ship. If they run into us before they run into our countermeasures, she kind of draws a finger against her throat.
Can
Gotcha.
either of you fly the ship? You or Seamus?
Hart shakes her head and she goes, "Seamus is sleeping, but I don't think he has any piloting skills."
I'm gonna go and wake up Seamus.
All right. Seamus says, "Huh? What?"
Hey, can you fly the ship at all?
I can build a ship from scratch, but you don't get me near those controls.
All right, get your shit together. You and Hart are going to be going into a hotel for a few days. We need to abandon the ship for a few days.
Right.
Xavier will ask Talavac. He'll say, Talavac, can you go out there and see if there's any cameras, whether it's security or not, pointing at our ship in these docking bays? And if you can, see if we can't do anything about that.
And
All right.
while he's doing that, since I'm pretty much already ready and have all my weapons and stuff like that, I am going to be taking the surveillance tiles and setting them up. We already have one in the cargo bay. I'm going to set up one in near the engine, in the mess hall, in the helm of the ship, and near our rooms in that little hallway.
Lucas is going to open up his door. All right, round up, folks, and he's going to do 2 thuds on the floor with his feet, and clanking in one line will come out to the bay, and they're all gonna go up in a small huddle, and Lucas is gonna go, "All right, you have a job. Make sure you protect these people, okay? Now, you are only, if they're in trouble, only use restrained bites. I don't want anyone doing anything above their lightest touch, okay? Make sure
There's affirmative chattering. Whatever that sounds like.
one large clack comes back from the group in unison.
Oh my god. You're having way too much fun with those teeth.
It's like the Joker.
Seamus is looking at them like he doesn't know what to make of the situation. Hart's eyes are absolutely shining.
Well, I'm glad someone's happy.
Yeah.
And he's gonna go to Hart, and he's gonna go. These are alive. They will definitely have their own mentality, and they usually listen to me in most cases. So, if you like to communicate them, make sure you know Morse code. They can understand most languages. Try not to speak to them in, I think, Trade 5. I don't think they know Trade 5.
Do they know hugs? And she immediately starts trying to scoop them up and hug them.
They don't have harms, and they don't, for the love of God, don't have them clamp down at you in any force at all. They will sever things.
They
She
ate
nods.
metal. Yeah.
She starts
And,
cooing to one.
And just for, if you want simple retorts, 1 clack is their yes, 2 clacks are no. So.
She nods. And then starts rapping in Morse code on the bulkhead. That says, in Morse code, "Come with me, my darlings."
Make sure you protect both of them.
Oh, right. I'm going to find Quicksilver.
Okay. Quicksilver's in the at the end of the cargo bay, just standing there next to I'm sorry. What's Lucius's?
Applepalooza.
Applepalooza.
Jesus.
And he goes, "Oh, Isaac, hey,
Hey,
I think there's
buddy.
something wrong with Applepalooza.
Yeah, he doesn't have an AI chip.
He's not
Unfortunately.
talking to me.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's shy."
He might be very shy, indeed. I have a job for you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to bring him my holo computer.
Mhm.
In case you get bored, there's this. You might be able to interface with it. I'm not too sure, but I need to stay here. Our ship might be boarded. While we're gone, we're going to be gone for 2 to 3 days. And I want you to defend it, okay?
Right. Defend it. Got it. How?
You're an MDC robot. You've got hooves that hurt. Your bite could sever my arm.
Yeah, but I've never. Isn't that kind of mean?
Well, these people might want to try and kill me and the rest of my acquaintances, and might want to shut you down.
Right. He kind of like stands up a little straighter. Got it. Guard the ship.
Yes.
Will do.
Thank you. And
Unless they're scary.
no, even if they are scary,
No.
You have to promise
Okay,
me.
even if they're scary, will do.
good. Okay, and Isaac will get the rest of his stuff and is ready to go.
All right. Do you guys want to put your uniforms back on before you exit?
Well, what's Talavek's status?
Talavek.
Yeah.
Roll me. Well, okay. Well, let's do it this way. You go outside. How do you want to go about finding this information out?
Well, let's see. That's a good question because I'm not really sure what I'm actually looking for. Is there any way I can use the computer on the ship?
Well,
And
you
try to
could.
find 'em.
Well, a quick visual inspection would show that there are cameras around the hangar bay. And there is in every hangar bay there is like a or for every few hangar bays there's like a control room that would have people in it and access to the cameras, I suppose. But as far as using a computer on your ship, in what manner?
I was gonna. Is there any possible way that I could do the same trick I did on Frontier?
No, you'd have to jack into the system itself. Your
Okay.
ship's not equipped to do Wi-Fi hacking.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give it my best shot to see if there's any cameras around, but
There are cameras around. Like I said, a quick visual inspection will show that there are cameras around. They don't. I mean, some are pointed at you, some are pointed at other ships. There doesn't seem like there's any general focus.
okay.
Oh, I got an idea then. In order to protect the identity of Seamus and Hart, When we exit, we escort them to the safe house.
Mm.
We just create a little box around them. Of us. Of black ninjas and a masked cowboy.
Yeah.
Masked cowboy goes in front because he's tallest.
Yep.
The rest of them just crouch down low. Well, it'll look weird, but they won't see who these people are, will they?
Well, if just think that we're really exotic is all.
Exactly. There's fucking aliens all over the place. They're used to this shit.
It's our custom.
All right.
And just before we do that, just for a very easy precaution that could probably be something that we do probably simply, why don't we just change where we docked our ship?
That seems irrelevant. They got cameras everywhere. They'll just look there too.
Well, no, since everything was announced, the information was just there as a static information. If we change locations,
They'll still know we're on the Starlock, but they won't necessarily know what the Starlock is. You're right, and this place is fucking ginormous.
That's worth a shot.
That is worth a shot. I say we do both.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, we'll pay another docking fee if necessary, but yeah, let's dock somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. Easy enough to do. Docking fee would be another 6,000 credits. Xavier, as you're docking undocking and redocking your ship, roll me a sensor equipment check.
Okay. Okay, I got a... Oh, that's a success.
It
Oh,
is a
wow.
success. You pick up several signatures, and you're close enough to get visual contact on them. Several of the ships that you saw in that meeting are also undocking and headed towards other docking bays.
Okay, so it looks like other people have the same idea. So everyone's not completely stupid. That's good. So once we undock, maybe we don't need our ninja outfits anymore. I know there's going to be cameras, right? But really, it might be a moot point.
Televac,
Yeah.
now that you're in the new docking bay, roll me do you have electronics or you have computer operation? Do you have electronics?
Oh, yeah.
All right, roll me an electronics check.
Okay. Hold on just a sec here. Let's see. That's... Oh, yeah.
Nice, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say it's safe to say, especially using your new eyes, your special eyes.
Specialize.
The cameras in the docking bay are turned off.
Oh my God.
They have no power to them at the moment.
Xavier, we're in luck. Those cameras are dead.
I bet you someone else is on here who turned them off. Let's capitalize on this.
Yes. And I'll keep an eye on them while we're going, and I'll signal to them if they pop back on.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, then Xavier will put his ninja outfit in his pack, so it's still there just in case. But I'm ready to go. I'm geared up. I don't have much. I have my Neuro Stick, my Walther PPK pistol. I don't have any SDC armor, and I don't think I can even take my force field, can I?
Nope.
No, so that's that.
So
I'm
Lucas
Pair of clothes.
comes out of his room with full ninja gear and the suitcase. He goes, "We're not going as the..."
Well, the cameras are off, so no one will be able to mark us. No one can see us go in and out of the ship, so there's no need.
Okay, give me a sec. And
Sure.
he's going to unwrap his arm, revealing a gold ring. He's going to slide that off. He's going to bend it to a larger, hula hoop ring. And he's going to, hold it over him and then let go, and it's going to float there. And it's going to have a shower of gold around him.
What the hell are you doing?
And then it
That's a
will
good
drop,
question.
and he is in his original clothes, going to shrink it back down and put it on his wrist.
Oh.
Wow.
Some superhero shit going on here.
It's like the Flash. All right.
Yeah, he is like a Flash. That's awesome. Keep his
Uh,
suit in his ring. That's so
Yeah.
weird, but it's so cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's perfect.
Cameras down. I don't know when they're coming back.
Yeah, so let's
Yeah.
capitalize on this.
Yeah.
All right. You guys form a box around Seamus, who is looking unsettled but dealing with it,
Yeah.
and Hart, who is holding her arms out wide, lined with chattering teeth.
Yep. Okay. Whatever keeps her there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So where would be a good where's a good mid-range place in which a person could stay here in center?
Everyone who has Streetwise, roll me a Streetwise.
Okay.
If you got Streetwise, roll
I got 16 as well. I super
Wow.
succeed.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh, I got a 14.
Wow.
Okay. So together, you guys are very quickly able to deduce that there are 3 hotels and 1 nondescript house that also rents out rooms.
Ooh.
Now, the house it's actually a self-enclosed kind of complex house, fairly large, and the word on the street is that this is a house of an elderly couple who recently lost their children, and they are now renting the space out. It's just hit the market, so the word hasn't really gotten out yet. If basically this is a place that most people have not heard of or do not know of. There's that, and then there are 3 other hotels of varying, value. There's a high-end one, a middle one, and kind of a raunchy one.
I like the house.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
House it is.
Secrecy is the name of the game.
Yeah.
Yep. You got it, Ninja Lucas. I mean, not Ninja Lucas, just regular Lucas.
All right. We can kind of handle it narratively. The elderly couple are more than happy to accommodate Seamus and Joy. I'm sorry, Hart.
Her name is Joy now? Wow.
Yep.
Jesus. She
No,
says so
I
many names.
was just okay. Honestly,
Thinking, I got a joy down in my heart.
no, I was imagining her face at the moment, like literally, and I was like, the joy, the pure joy.
Oh.
I like to think she's singing, "I got that joy," holding the chattering teeth,
Yeah.
and they're chattering in
Yeah.
song. I got that joy.
It's like imagine that girl from
Where?
The Hills
Where?
Are Alive with the sound of
Where?
music.
Down in my heart.
Where?
Down in my heart.
Okay, anyways, back to the session. How much will that
If
be?
the devil doesn't like it, he can sit on the tack.
At first you're a bit surprised that they don't seem to be reacting at all to the chattering teeth until you realize that the couple is blood.
Ah!
Even better. I mean, not for them, but
And they are more than happy to accommodate your guest for several days at a rate of 30 credits a day.
Perfect.
Oh,
Also,
fantastic.
Thing ever.
To let you guys know, on your ship, with its drive, you can make it to Shanshin.
Shinhan
wrote-
Station.
Shihan.
Shihan, thank you. Shihan Station. I did not write that one down. Shihan Station. You can make it there in 2 days.
Great.
So you have 4 days before you have to.
Yeah. We have to track this shit down in 4 days. Okay. So that'll be important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go to level 2 then. Let's make some investigations as to, because if we give us a rift, I mean, Lucas knows the general landscape where we need to go, right? Isaac knows where we need to go. And so what we can do is we make some inquiries as to what rifts are available. If the closest rift is a 3-day travel there, you know what I mean, like a 3-day travel one way, then that's useless to us. You know what I mean? There's no point in us converting our credits or anything like that. So let's first nail down the fact that we can get somewhere where that a 4-day window is feasible. First
Within
and
like a
foremost.
few hours at least.
Or even if it's a day.
Yeah.
Even if it's a day travel there, do our shit, a day travel back, that's fine.
All right. You would get to the gate section,
Okay.
and it's a giant rooms that are literally circled with rift gates. You would inquiry, and they would say it's a robot, and he goes, destination.
Xavier will look over to Isaac. You're home.
I need one near Silver Rock, New Mexico.
Silver Rock, New Mexico, New Mexico. Rifts Earth, I take it?
Yes.
New Mexico, New Mexico, New Mexico.
Yes,
I'm
you're
sorry,
saying,
I
wouldn't
know-
it
I
be
mean-
weird if there's a Silver Rock, New Mexico, in like Blanklax
That would be weird. Yes.
And
Or
so
Blue
then
Blops?
he goes,
or Schmoopy?
there is... He says as he scratches his metallic head, and he goes,
Why would you do that? You're a robot. Are you itchy?
Actually, I have a question that we didn't really handle narratively yet. Did we go to the money exchanger?
No, because remember,
Not
there's no
yet.
point
We're
of us getting
checking
our
in.
money exchanged
gotta
if
get a
we're
ticket
not
first,
going to go
yeah.
something. No. There's no point getting our money exchanged if
Yeah.
we can't get to our destination in time. You know, what I
Okay,
mean, it'd be
so
a
we're
waste of
checking this
time.
first, getting it exchanged, then going.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Exactly.
it nods and says, there is a rift 26 miles outside of the town. It looks like you've got a 10-minute window left. There has already been one group traveling through, booked through. They're through, you're clear. You have 10 minutes left.
Oh God.
We have
don't
10 minutes.
time.
We're not going to have enough time to trade credits. Question.
Unless we can do it digitally.
The robot says you need to trade credits.
Yes.
How many
In
credits? would you-
unison, yes.
Can you do that?
Yes, I can.
I will. It's a 5-to-1, so 5 Earth credits for 1 Universal Center credit.
Yeah.
The current trade value is 5.662231.
Great. I would like to exchange 100,000 credits, please.
Same.
And the robot taps it.
Yeah, me
It
too.
comes out to 500,000 credits for you.
Wait, no. Actually, it should come out to 566,000, right? You said 5.66.
The robot scratches its head.
Itchy again? Come on, you're a giant computer. You can do this.
566,200.
It comes out to 499,000. No.
I'm gonna just mark down 500,000.
Yeah. Just mark down 560,000 credits.
Okay.
You can do this. I believe in you, robot.
For everyone who's trading credits, you can go ahead and just let me know what you're trading in, and 5.6 times it by 5.6.
I love this in-game, out-of-game. 5.66. What's the? Why are you scratching your head? Are you itchy?
It's just a weird robot.
You said 5.66231, so that's how much credits I have after exchanging 100,000.
Right?
Yes.
I'm gonna do the same
No, but
thing.
seriously, GM, do you want us just to write down 500,000?
No. Just do 5.6. So, like for example, like you said, 560,000 is fine.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I like the idea that exchange rates are always fluctuating.
Yeah.
Even within the seconds.
In the seconds.
Now it's 5. Now it's
Would have
4.99.
been- It was like actually now it's 498. Would you like to ask again?
Would you like to inquire again? And again.
Maybe it'll go up.
And again.
Televac, Lucas, are you gonna exchange credits?
I am. I'm
I have-
calculating.
I'm doing the same thing y'all are doing.
So 100,000 for 566,000.
Yep.
That's a good exchange rate, by the way.
Yes,
That's
it
awesome.
is.
You know what?
Yes, it is.
I'll do more.
You'll also see on the charts up above the robot. So you're aware. Exchange rate the other direction is 1 galactic credit, universal credit for 10 Earth universal credits.
Son of a bitch.
Yep.
I'm gonna need more credits. Oh.
So it's 5 one way, 10 the other.
Okay.
And that's actually from the book, so
Yeah, it's preventing people from going back and forth and doing all this other shit.
God damn it. Am I going to do
Also, these
that?
guys have to make money somehow, right?
Yeah, it's a skim off the top of their operations. Yeah.
You know, yeah.
all right. You guys are good to go. The rifts, he will point you to a rift. It's about it's at the bottom of the floor. It's about 300 feet away from you. There are no lines. There are lots of rifts that have just lines of merchants and travelers waiting to go through the rifts. The one he points you to has no line.
Before Xavier's gonna ask the group that came before us, how many were they? What did they look like?
The robot scratches its head and says, "I did not see them, but the log reports as." One moment, please.
Xavier will smile and he'll take out that little box that we have. He'll point it towards the robot and press the button.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, nice.
Oh no.
Okay. Boop. The robot just kind of like shudders for a second and kind of like stops, and then it's almost like it reboots.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, "How may I assist you?"
4 tickets to Silver Springs, New Mexico, and Earth, please.
Silver Rock.
Silver Rock.
Of course, he prints out 4 tickets.
Wonderful. How much is that going to be, dear robot friend? Who I definitely did not hijack.
6,000 credits per person.
Okay. I'll take out 6,000 on my end.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look through that data once we're through the rift. Oh, magic box.
Robot scratches his head.
Well, maybe I'll find out if he's itchy in this box. A universal corrector.
And then after you pay for your tickets, you are cleared to travel through the gate.
I think we do
Sweet.
so.
Let's do this shit. Yeah.
It is
There was something that I wanted to ask before the robot was scrambled.
You can still ask.
Is our destination to the south, north, east, or west of the city? It's 25 miles out.
25 miles directly behind where you will exit the rift.
So south of it.
Yeah, let's say the rift is
Basically, the
facing
other
north.
direction
Yeah. Oh.
of where we're going. About face.
Fuck.
How do we get back, by the way? That's a good question.
Yeah, that is.
No,
a good question.
Burn. It would mean you're popping up 25 miles north of the city.
Okay, good. That's
Yeah, the city
great.
would be south of us, so we'd be north.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lucas. You were asking.
That's a great question.
How do we
How are
get
gonna-
back?
Yeah.
You know the back part where we not go at Earth and go here?
Yeah.
So,
That's
how does that work?
Well, you build a spaceship. No.
Okay.
How I got here was with the help
The
of a
robot
shifter.
would.
shifter.
Yeah, the robot would shrug, but
You're the
that's
worst
reassuring.
robot ever, Xavier will say.
the robot will say, "I am sorry if I do not please you. If you would like to submit a complaint to my superiors, please." Scratches his head. Data not found.
Xavier will ask Isaac, that shifter that got you here in the first place, is he still, from the best you know, does he live in Silver Rock?
He was just passing through. But we might get
I'm
lucky.
sure we'll
Yeah.
find someone. We'll
You could
find.
probably find another shifter, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Wait, how are we getting back? Welp,
I'm
I'm going home, guys.
It's a half-baked plan if we don't know how we're gonna get back.
It's a terrible plan if we don't know how to get back.
Yep.
The robot would look at the schedule it has and say, "There will be another window in 3.2 Galactic Standard Days at the same location."
Okay.
There. That makes that.
That's how you do
I
it.
feel better now.
Thank you, God.
Yeah.
Thank you, God. Okay.
Build a
Now
rocket
we
ship.
go.
Now we go.
A rocket ship. Get through orbit.
Don't
Yeah,
get
that's a
blasted
tough one.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wave to the Alan, Mila, and Patrick as you pass.
Blow up certain
Alright,
stations.
All right. Would you guys like to go ahead and just end the section with you traveling through the rift?
I think that's perfect.
I
That would
think
be
that is
great.
perfect.
Yeah.
Plus it's about time that we
It is about time.
stop
Um,
anyways.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your character's point
You're
of
all
view,
dead.
it is a rather lackluster journey. You literally go up the ramp that leads to the rift and step through, and the change in temperature is stark. It is blazingly hot. It looks like it's about high noon. The sun is overhead and clear and beating down, and you are standing in what looks to be a barren desert.
Isaac will take out his compass.
No
And-
Doctor Who tunnel.
No, Dr.
Oh,
Furtado.
oh.
Isaac, you are familiar enough with the lantern. You're only 25 miles from your town.
Yeah.
You would be able to see this mesa there and that hill there, and have a good idea where you are.
But the question is, do I want to go back to town?
Yeah. Just
Uh,
letting you know, you kind of know where you are. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll end it there, right?
Yeah. All right. Cool.
and just to make sure, Squee, when you said the
Mhm.
far west, you meant Spirit West, right?
No, I meant like across the seas west.
Then why the fuck did we come here?
No,
Because-
because
Shit.
you ran into it here all the time. It was
Yeah,
just
that's true.
it was imported.
That's true. All right.
All right.
Right. Go ahead and end the session there, and thanks
Okay.
everyone for watching.
All right. See y'all
Bye.
next week. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye now. Bye.